every time a rapper does a versus, it just brings them closer to battle rap. And I love that shit, bro.
Yeah.
I can't wait for you to do one.
Yeah.
If it is common. I think that would be incredible.
I thought you were talking about stand on the main stage. I mean, yo, let's aim for the. I want to see Quad versus
Is that something you would ever do?
I wouldn't be opposed to it.
Sit down. Sit in the chair, sir. Don't where you go. Go back over here. Don't get him with no more.
Wait. Are you talking about? Hold on. You talking about versus?
Hold on. Battle rap.
We're talking about battle rap. That's not.
Yeah.
Hold on. That's not.
I knew you misheard.
You battle. Nah, no.
It was almost there. We gonna get it. We gonna get this. I think the excitement made him draw back. Like
you didn't start out in Washington Square Park.
Go
head to head.
No, let's talk about it.
Here we go. Here we go.
Let's talk about it.
This trapper turn smack rapper. Only smack rapper that you know is smack rappers. Got bars I can hang with the backpackers. Trap star, I don't hang with the backpackers. I'm in the hood with the work you heard. Making fiends leave earth you heard. Got your baby mama thirst you heard. Feel the flow, nigga, throw it in reverse. This the wave you need to surf you heard. Told Jim I need a bomb I could drop on you niggas. Bad boy, I'm never gonna stop for you niggas. I don't give a fuck who you got is the illest. I solidify my spot with gorillas. Now I'm rock with you niggas.
Alright, we back. My expert opinion, episode 82. 82, right? 82, yo. 82 episodes. Shit, clap it up for that.
Yeah, no, for sure.
I ain't never had 82 of nothing in life. But it is what it is. First, shout out to all the new subscribers. Shout out to y'all. If you're watching this for the first time, hit that subscribe button, hit that like, hit that share. Let everybody know you here. It don't cost you no paper unless you's a mother hater, okay? King Shaven, as always, if you're lonely out there in the world and you're looking for an unfair advantage, go get this King Shaven, King's Elixir, and King's Seduction. My personal favorite is the King's Seduction, but the King's Elixir is dope also. So go to kingshavenproducts.com and pick these up. Promo code Hoffa Gang. Now, I got a homie in the building. This is her new product, Dro Drink. Dro Drink.
Wow.
If you know, you know. It's the Dro Drink. It's infused, so be easy. Be easy. It tastes good. I almost got lit before this started. As I said, oh, this is good. She's like, no, be easy. I'm like, ginger ain't nothing. This don't burn me. She's like, no, it's infused. And I'm like, oh, I'm about to get high. But pineapple, ginger cocktail, you got other flavors?
Yeah. Pineapple, ginger, mixed berry, and classic lemonade.
Okay. Pineapple, ginger, mixed berry, and classic lemonade. Where can they find this?
Chas Green Dreams.
Chas Green Dreams. Chas Green Dreams. You can't say that
Fast.
3 times fast. You can't say that.
The link will be there.
Right. Go check that out. Dro Drink. All right. For you non-smokers, but you want to still feel the effects. Say it again. Audio. Oh yeah. We're on all streaming platforms as of now. The audio is everywhere.
Clap it up for that.
Everywhere. So if you're driving, we don't want you to crash. We know the show looks awesome. Shout out to Space Ghost. So you can listen to the audio, keep it moving, and pick up on everything. Now, I got my man Mr. Mech back in the building.
Salute.
Back
Respect,
in the
respect,
building.
respect.
Sean Bigger in the building. Got Chastity, the part owner of Dro Drink. And Asia, how you doing? How you been? Star.
Asia Star.
How did I get that? Okay. My man, Seth Bird,
I made a
back
return.
in the building. Always a pleasure.
I'm out here. You know I'm out here.
It's OG Crown Heights right there.
You heard me?
It's OG Crown Heights. And we have a legend. We have the guy. We're going to get into how you are the James Brown of conscious rap. Wow. And we're going to get into that. We're going to get into that. We're going to get into that. We got okay. We got the podcast, the People's Party. Just an overall great guy. I've been in the studio with this guy. He's great. This I don't know what to say, man. We got Talib Kweli in this.
What up?
Oh man, where do we start?
How y'all feeling?
I'm great. How's everybody this week been?
I'm out here, man. You ain't give him no beard oil. What kind of shit is y'all on?
I'm just saying, I went to King's Elixir.
You know what I'm saying?
That sounds amazing.
King's Elixir.
There we go.
Let him see.
Okay, King's Elixir.
Yeah, you might want to pick up some condoms with that, man. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Instead, they make the Afro Sheen. I asked y'all for.
Right, not an Afro Sheen. They made an aphrodisiac.
I'm gonna use that next episode. I'm gonna use that.
Bars.
Yo, I always wanted to know what happened to my verse.
Jesus Christ.
Right into it.
Which song did you lay a verse on? Let's start with that.
The fact that you don't know just lets me know. It's
I know, it's terrible.
It's time to recycle.
This is terrible. This is terrible. Refresh my memory.
All right. We were in the studio.
It's.
What was that? 2 years ago?
I want to say Radio Silence. It's just one of the songs that.
Was it a real studio or was it my crib?
It was a real studio.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you remember what the beat sounded like?
Look,
This
we're not
nigga
even going to do
you
this.
don't have a
We're not even going to do this. Not even going to do this. This is why battle rappers be wilding out. This is why we wilding out.
So look, I'm about to. I don't know when this is coming out, but my man Thurston Howell III.
Shout out to Thurston Howell.
Brooklyn.
Low Life. Right.
He laid a verse on the my last album with Diamond D Gotham because I do a lot of albums.
Right.
And creative discussions in the studio it just his verse didn't make it. And so I haven't even seen Thurston. I'm about to go to Orlando. I'm gonna see Thurston, but I'm putting out the verse as a remix soon because my man got off. So what you probably did, you probably jumped on a song that I probably stopped fucking with that song altogether.
Right.
That's probably what
my
happened.
verse is damn.
You went hard.
My verse is pretty good.
I need to go back and listen to it.
Yeah, my verse was good.
I need to call Federico. Federico, if you're watching this, send me the Math Hoffa session.
That's
so I can listen to it.
Yes. Let's get that. Let's get that out in the world. Let's get that out in the world. And I don't know if the verse intimidated you because you're Mr. Kill every feature though. Mr. Kill every feature.
I don't kill every feature. I kill most features.
Most features.
Yeah.
You feel like anybody ever got you?
Yeah, but I'd probably never say.
You'd
That's
never
just for
say.
me.
Ever.
Maybe not on a podcast. I'd say
I can only say I know one person that got him.
Did I say it to you?
No, I don't even know if you think I know you got him. But only reason I say he got you is because the nigga went back in and put like another 17 balls at the end of the 16, and it just.
Who you talking about? J. Cole?
Kendrick.
Oh, Kendrick. No, he didn't. No, Kendrick didn't put another few bars. Kendrick taught me a lesson with this.
Okay.
I got a song Push Through with Kendrick and Currency.
Right.
And originally the song was just me and Currency. Kendrick heard it. This is before he dropped Swimming Pools. This is K-Dot era Kendrick.
Right, K-Dot.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He heard it. He was like, I want to jump on this. He jumped on it. But he wasn't the Kendrick who he was. He dropped like 24 bars. We each had 16 bars. So when I did the mix, I took off 8 of his bars because I had 16, Currency had 16. I'm like, this young dude, he gonna have 24, we just have 16.
Right.
And this was the lesson I learned. I wasn't thinking creatively.
Right.
I was thinking with my ego.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I was thinking, the song gotta be, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't thinking the right shit.
Right.
Sent it to him for his approval. He was like, I need the rest of my verse on it. And the fact that him as a young dude at that point in his career felt comfortable enough to say that to me, I respected it. And it changed it reminded me of what we do in this.
Right.
It's not to just fit neatly into containers.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
So you clipped Kendrick Lamar's verse.
I did.
But
Technically.
did you put it back?
Oh, I did.
Yeah, technically, no, we did. I heard that.
Okay.
I was like, this nigga just gonna keep
No,
rhyming.
we put it back on there.
Right.
But he checked me. He checked me early in his career, before all the success.
Right.
When he was just, he had mixtapes out. You know what I'm saying? Like, I forgot the name of the mixtapes, but.
Does it become like remote after a while to like follow a format, or did that moment like kind of make you say, okay, the next time I feel like blacking out and going longer than everybody, I'm doing it?
It made me understand that I have to not get caught up in the industrial sort of rigmarole of the music business. it reminded me that, because when I started, I didn't have beats, I didn't have fans, I didn't have anything. I was just doing it just. So when people be like, you got to do this for the fans, no, I don't. Y'all wasn't there when I started.
Right.
So I've never done it for the fans. If you appreciate it, beautiful.
Right.
We can have some sort of fair exchange. That'd be dope. You pay me some money, you got some dope music, but I never do it for the fans. I do it for myself.
Right.
And but I got to the point where it became more efficient to create music in a way that had a better chance of sounding good on a stage, or maybe had a better chance of making it to be a single.
Right.
And I always had something, a chip on my shoulder to prove that I could do just as good music as everybody else, but as a conscious rapper. So even in the way I dressed, even in the clubs I went to, when you see me out, I used to club a lot.
Right.
And part of it was like, I could go to this club and sit next to Diddy and buy every bottle that he buy, and wear the watch and wear the chain, and still with these conscious bars though.
Right.
Like I had something to prove.
Right.
And so even with the way I was making music, with the beat selection, for a certain point in my career, with the beat selection, the hook selection, I was attempting to show everybody that I could compete.
With everything.
With everything. And I feel like sometimes I did that well, other times I did not do that well. But
What were the well times in the
Hot Thing, Will I Am produced, record like that.
Yeah.
The Come Here record with Sean C and LV and Miguel, that was
Right.
another record that I felt like
It was fire.
I
The joint
nailed
with
it.
Just Blaze.
Right.
Never Been in Love wasn't made with that intention. Never Been in Love, I
But
just
it
wanted to
went
make,
there.
It went there.
It did
there.
that.
See,
It did
that's
that.
why I don't put Never Been in Love, Get By, or The Blast in those categories, because those records are more organic. They just happen to fit the format. Radio people fuck with it.
Right.
But these other records I made, like, I need to get
Specifically, that was the intention. I
You know
get
what I'm
it.
saying?
Right.
I
Like,
get
or
it.
I need to get a record that the women like, or I need to get a record in the club. I'm happy that I went through that, but I'm happy that I no longer think like that.
Right.
I'm blessed that I no longer feel like I have to think like that. A lot of people would argue that you should never think like that.
Right.
But I was trying to be competitive.
But is it more of being signed to a label, people telling you that you need to do this, other people in your ear that kind of pushes you in that direction?
I can't even say that's what it was with me, because I can't even say that I've had a lot of. I've never had a lot of pressure. I've had a lot of pushback. Like, because I've made the decisions I made musically, I don't get the support. But no one's ever been in the studio telling me what to say and what not to say. It's always been on me. It's just, I'll show up with a record that's more underground sound and I won't get the support. But now I've never had a situation where it's always been me. It's always been me wanting to compete. Like, hearing stuff on the radio, like, I could do that.
The competition. You wanted to compete
Yeah.
with them. The whole buying bottles with Diddy thing, like
Yeah.
doing
Yeah.
that musically too.
Well, musically, one time me and him had a conversation. I said, yo, what keeps you strong in this? You've been doing this a long time. He said, I just realized I gotta keep outrhyming these niggas. And that was the realest shit.
And you have it.
He's been outrhyming niggas.
Yo, you have a masterful flow.
Thank you.
The pattern is art. And there's not a lot of people that sit down and like study stuff like that, but like just following it and how you put it together and how it's able to make sense. There's some people who have that, but they don't always make sense and they jump from topic to topic. But you find the ability to stay within that pattern and stay on topic ever since the raucous era. What would you say is the difference between that era and now?
Jesus Christ.
Words.
I think you just summed it up.
Back
Topic jumping.
then, they used to use their words.
I mean, when I was pre-Raucous, I was working with Jessica Rosenblum, and I was working with Diddy, and working with Funkmaster Flex, and running around promoting parties, putting up posters, handing out flyers. And so I was immersed in that sort of jiggy hip-hop world. But when I went home to Brooklyn, I was hanging out with Supernatural and people like that. And it was like the art was in Brooklyn, but the fun club shit was in the city.
The money.
Yeah, the money was in the city. Like,
Right.
we used to go to these clubs, and my whole crew was dancers. DJ Talib, who used to dance for Brand Nubian, and had posted up a post. He was like, yo, back in the days, he wrote a post, he said, Back in the days, you couldn't get by with the two-step. And I was like, nah, I get by with my two-step.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But back in the days, my whole crew was dancers. I used to hold their coats. And I used to just peep. I couldn't dance, but I always wanted to be competitive. The raucous era, what we did was we embraced vinyl when they was moving to the CDs, and we embraced paying tribute to the ancestors when everybody was trying to be new and flashy.
Right.
And so it became the anti-bad boy, even though that's not how I saw myself. Bad boy was crushing everything, but I knew all the bad boy people.
Right.
But I was getting known in this circle of raucous MCs, and there was an overlap. We did a Lyricist Lounge event. Big had just passed a couple of weeks before the event, and Puff came to the event. And Yassine did a record, Children's Story, that's on the Black Star album, where he's criticizing some of the things that people might have accused Puff of doing in the industry. And Puff came backstage and had a conversation. He felt the way about that. And we told him, or Yassine told him, the record is about sort of this ubiquitous character. He wasn't talking about one person in particular.
Right.
But it was like that. Like Puff came to the Lyricist Lounge and had this conversation with us. But the fans separated it. And the backpackers, the ones, especially ones from out of town. We used to wear backpacks coming from Brooklyn to carry whether you had a hammer or a pen to get a girl's name, number or whatever. Like the backpack
was gangster.
Functional.
Hammer.
Backpacking was gangster.
It was functional.
Graffiti shit.
Hammer.
Graffiti, whatever. Right?
Just wanted to like, just bring
Hammer.
the book.
Hey,
Look at
how
my
you
man
doing,
caught
Hammer?
back in the gym sport.
Yeah.
This is
But you started to have, after this raucous Fat Beats era, the Artifacts had a backpack in the book pack in the video. Grand Poobah had the backpack. So they start looking at these videos. So now you got white kids coming in from the suburbs wearing empty backpacks at the venue.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it became like a
As a
thing.
style.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, you a backpack rapper. We was like, even though I was a nigga that used to wear backpacks all the time, I was like, no, don't call me that. Because I know what you implying.
What you mean.
Right.
Yeah.
What did it mean to you?
Backpack rapper meant you didn't have to be taken seriously because you were so underground, you weren't getting money. You weren't a part of the, as the crew of dancers, we weren't buying drinks. We weren't drinking, we couldn't afford drinks. We go to the bar and be like, how much for water? And the bartender would be like, $3. This was the early 90s. $3 for water? You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck it. And you know what we do? Just be in the club thirsty for 3 hours.
Wow.
I thought about it the other day. I was like, we used to just stand in that club
thirsty.
Hot.
Like this. I'm going to the bathroom. You gotta pee? Thirsty.
Nope.
Yo, wait till we get out to the pizzeria or to Mahmoud to get a sun kiss.
Right.
Here we go.
We're going to get to that sun kiss.
Hold on, let's
We're going to
talk
talk about the sun kiss.
Not
Because I
sun kiss.
Nah, they
witnessed
don't get no
something
free promotion.
and I was outraged.
No free promotion for Sunkit. We do love Mahmoud's though. So shout out to the falafel
Now
spot.
that era was such a crazy era. I feel like when it comes to lyricism, when it comes to true hip hop, we're entering a resurgence. And the trigger for that resurgence, if y'all been paying attention, was Dipset versus the Lox.
One of them, yes.
I want to say shout out to Nori. I did an episode with Nori and I predicted, and I forgot about this, totally forgot about it, that the versus thing, because they were doing it during the pandemic. I told him, I was like, yo, this thing is going to touch Madison Square Garden when this is all over.
Yeah, for sure.
And I totally forgot, and someone sent me the clip, and they was like, yo, you predicted this. And I was like, oh, I'm the god, you know what I mean? So I'm seeing, since that occasion, classic occasion, I was in the building for this, a lot of people, I find a lot of artists, even from Fat Joe having his party and inviting that, and everybody wanted to perform, and they're playing freestyles on Hot 97 again. Like, I feel like it's a resurgence.
I have a lot of thoughts about this.
I feel like they're trying to monopolize.
One, who was your pick going into it? And two, what are your thoughts?
Into what, the Lox versus?
Lox versus
I
Dipset.
I showed
Wait,
you.
hold on,
You
wait.
on the group chat.
Yeah, I'm in the
You on the group chat.
So with me, hold on, I got this, right? So this is how it went, right? The conversation went, they was like, Dipset got this, Dipset got that. And he said what I knew was true. He said, the Lox do 100 shows a year as a group. They might do individually 100 shows by themselves.
Pre-pandemic, they was
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They was getting
And when they not on the road, they in the studio.
Yeah.
Dipset don't got a chance.
This is what you said.
He's
Not the last part, but technically
He's putting extra spin.
Yeah, why? So this is direct quote.
No, not quote. Not quote.
Yeah. I need to know.
Hold on.
I need to know for captioning.
None from the group chat will ever be quoted. It's not.
Right.
Right.
So I got an album with Styles P, the
Right.
7.
Yes.
And the reason we got an album is because I wanted to go on tour with someone who would expose me to a different audience. And me and Styles got a bunch of records together, so I was like, let's go on tour. He said, I'll go on tour with you if we do an album.
I was amazed by that, by the way.
It was
And I got to hear it before it came out.
quality.
Yeah.
We was at your house
Yes.
and you started playing the records, and I was
Yes.
like, oh, snap.
Shout out to the Ghost, man. I learned
Yeah.
so much from this man. This is like my sensei.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Like David Styles, bro, like that's a special dude. And through him, I already had a relationship with Sheik and Jada, but through him, that relationship strengthened.
Right.
And so we went on this tour. And then immediately after we went on this tour, Styles, I was like, man, I felt like I changed the world. Immediately after we went on tour, he dropped the album with Burner. I was like, God damn, nigga, you give me a chance to catch my breath. And then they dropped the Locks album, and then they went on tour then they went on the Locks tour. They toured with West Side Gun and Benny the Butcher and Conway.
Right.
I started going to a couple of those shows. When I started going to a couple of those shows, I started seeing, because I didn't understand, the Locks, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but at that point, they weren't touring like that. That's when they just started.
Right.
The Griselda thing was just starting to pick up. And I think that Locks at some point realized, oh, okay, we a legacy act. People want to see this. People our age who don't come out for shit, but I'm coming out for
We'll
that.
come
I'm
out
coming
for
out
this.
for that.
When
Right.
I say
Yeah.
the front of Madison Square Garden was like littered with all types of Timberlands,
just OGs out
baggy
there.
jeans. It was a lot going on
People
out
coming
there.
out for that.
That
Yeah.
shit look
So
like the Vulcan.
I seen on BET Awards years ago, they did a tribute to Gladys Knight, and they had Faith Evans and all these singers come up and sing, and everybody did a great job. But then Gladys came out in there and she killed it, and it wasn't just because she's older and she's an OG, but it's because at that point she was doing Vegas 100 nights a year.
Right.
So I'm an artist that before the pandemic I did 200 shows a year for 20 years straight. Right? Nobody was doing it like that besides the Roots, and then they got a day job. Right?
Right.
So I know who's on the road and who's not. And I know the effect of being on the road and having routines and having a relationship with people slept in a relationship with Tech.
Tech, the
with
DJ.
Right.
The way that when Kiss was like, Tech, I need that Barry.
Right.
Well, he's doing that Barry White breakbeat. So
Right.
he don't even need to say. It's just certain codes, the relationship they had with the DJ was very important.
Right,
And
right.
all of that. And I'm just not sure that Dipset was touring to that level or even
weren't.
connecting
On
as
that
brothers
level.
No, they
Right.
weren't.
on that level.
Because it's a
Right.
crew versus a group. I said this in the last
Right.
thing.
Listen,
It's one thing to be a crew and be a bunch of dudes who are cool and get money together and rap together. A group is a different dynamic. You weave in and out of each other's verses, you back each other up, and they do that all the time. You were never going to win with a crew versus
Yeah.
a group.
They
And
said-
see, I felt seen. This is where I really felt seen and heard. Because I was reading the comments when Jadakiss was going off, right? Before Who Shot You, just for his whole energy. Someone in the comments was like, yo, I don't remember nothing. How do you remember all those words? And it hit me like a ton of bricks. These people have never seen this. But this is what I do. The people who watching his verses, they didn't know that niggas still rap like
Like
this.
that,
This is
right.
my whole world.
Right.
So I'm like,
Casuals.
I'm watching it like, well, this is what I do. And this is the beauty of verses, and this is why Timberland and Swiss deserve all their flowers, because the pandemic made it where the lockdown made it where all of us are of age in this room. All of us, look how we dressed, look how we carry ourselves, right?
Right.
Our parents didn't look like this in that age. Our parents, when they was 28, looked like old people. You know what I'm saying? We carry ourselves in a certain way
Right.
because we pay attention to this culture, right? So we know the new hot record, and we know the new hot dance, and we know the new hot sneaker, and we know that we know everything. So when you go to the club on Friday night, you can, even if you don't like it, you at least know what's going on.
Right.
The lockdown changed all of that. So all that cultural currency you got from knowing the newest, hottest, latest record, you know, all that is over. Now the cultural currency is you ain't never heard Manny Fresh, you ain't never heard these Ozzy Brothers records. You don't
Right.
know these records.
Right.
You don't know that.
Right.
I was hanging out with people.
There's
who
a
was
new
like,
appreciation for it.
That's right. And it's like we could not rest on our laurels, but stand tall on our laurels.
Right.
The things that we've already done. Now we're gonna show you why this is important. You know what I'm saying?
So now this leads me to the next question. Who would you do a versus with?
Oh, we had this one.
Let's run down the list.
No.
Yeah,
Maybe
Most
most.
is not gonna do. Yasin ain't gonna do a versus with anybody. I don't think. For me personally,
I got
it's
another
a
one in my
very
head.
short list of people that.
No, I don't
makes-
want you to talk what's possible. I want, who do you really want to do a
Well,
versus with?
I mean, it's the only way to look at it, right?
Yeah.
For me, it's a short list. The only people that I feel like for me it would be a fair matchup to whereas I would challenge myself and challenge the other person. Besides the most, would be a Black Thought or the Roots. Common.
That was my pick.
Common.
Or Lupe.
Common.
That was my
okay.
pick.
I picked.
All right.
Here's who I picked. I picked him versus.
But it's a challenge. That's what I'm saying. I want to challenge myself.
Right.
Because
You against the Roots is a challenge.
Versus it's not always about who got the best records. It's about who got the best selection,
Right.
which order, and your energy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And me being a DJ now every once in a while, so the way
That's
in
a
which I
cheat code.
select things.
That's a cheat code.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
He says the cheat
So-
code. Like I
so-
said,
Being a
I
DJ
want-
is a cheat
I
code.
want
So
him
it would be a
versus three
when you
stacks.
say it'd be a challenge,
Go.
that's like, okay, I'm not sure if I got this.
Well, here's why I know it's a challenge because Common is more famous than I am. Common is just on when you look at the scale. I'm very very clear about who I am and what I represent and
Right.
how people perceive me versus what the reality is.
Right.
Right. And Common is absolutely this guy's a movie star.
Well, I gotta say, before, you know, the Locks versus Dipset, there was a lot of people saying Dipset got the hits, they're gonna take it. There was a lot of pink
They said that about
scarves
Fab, too.
outside. Fab versus
They
Kiss.
said that about Fab.
And
Listen,
the
Yeah, but see-
tables turned
Yeah.
drastically.
Yeah, but
Listen.
see, Common. Okay, so the fame thing has to do with recognition. Common is famous than me. He has bigger records than me. His records will get. This is about versus about recognizing records. People be in their feelings. It's not like that's what made the Jadakiss shit so crazy. Is because a lot of people don't know that Who Shot Your Freestyle. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? But versus for the most part is like how people felt when they heard that record.
Right.
Yeah, and how I
Right.
felt, I know how I felt when I heard The Light. You know what I'm saying? I know how I felt when I heard Get By too. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? But I know how I felt when I heard The Light. And I was on tour with Common. Common, we were on a Spit Kicker tour, right? Biz Markie, rest in peace.
Rest in peace,
He
Biz
was the
Markie.
host of the tour,
Right.
right? Me and Hot Tech, we had the blast out. We just dropped the blast.
Right.
So we killing. De La Soul out. They got Stakes is High. Just dropped. Pharoah Monch came out on the tour. Simon Says
Is a
hadn't
monster.
dropped yet. Hadn't dropped yet. But The Light was out. Oh, no, excuse me. I'm incorrect. Simon Says had just dropped. So Simon Says was killing. But
Yeah.
Pharoah had a single called The Light. A great record.
I know you
I'll
will
just
see the light, baby. Won't you understand what you mean to me, darling?
That record came out the same time as Common's The Light. Guess which record won?
Common.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
that Common, De La Soul, it was a De La Soul tour. We De La Souls, that's our OGs. Common had to start closing out the show. That was the year of the Light. It was like we had to have a team meeting, a tour meeting. Listen, Common got to close out the show.
show, wow.
You know what I'm saying? So I've seen
Did you
moments
feel a
like
way
that.
about that?
Nah, that's how that's supposed
That's
to be.
what it was, yeah.
Team shit
That's how it's
right
supposed
there.
to be.
Right.
That's team shit right there. Nah, yo, it's my tour, but you gotta close out. You see this fucking shit?
Yeah,
So
it's going
Common,
crazy.
what I'm saying
All right.
is Common would be the crowd favorite. But it would challenge me as far as my selection, as far as reminding people about shit I did that they might have forgot about. So it's
Right.
the way in which I presented, like, oh, y'all forgot about this verse. You slept on this one, shit like that.
See,
Now,
the fame,
now,
the
now
fame
being a
gets
battle
wild.
rapper,
No, here we go.
Now I wanna hear. Wait, first of all,
I love it. I love it, bro. Like, I love
This is
when
the energy.
I was in the building for the Dipset Lock situation, and Kiss started talking his
you say?
shit. I said, "Oh, this is like the little stuff we be saying in between rounds."
Right,
like,
right, let me tell you.
Yo, this nigga choking.
Right,
Yo, this,
Right,
you know what I mean?
right.
Like,
They did that on purpose.
Karaoke.
They
Of
was
course
doing
they
battle
did.
rap.
They was.
Of
They was
course
doing
they
battle
did.
rap for
Now I
MSG.
wonder.
Yeah.
I wonder if there was a conscious battle. What kind
What
of
the trash
energy-
shit would sound like?
That's a great
you know
question.
what I mean? Because I
That's
don't
a
want
great
to.
question.
That was a great
So
record,
did you see-
man.
did you see-
That was
none
a
of
great
that
record.
shit.
I don't want to see that
Hold
shit.
on. Okay, so-
I don't want to see that.
Did you
remember
see-
this one part. He is still a Brooklyn nigga.
Hold on.
Right. Right.
Did you see when?
And
Did you see
Rashid
when?
is a Chi-Town nigga.
Right, let's
He
see
was-
this
Here
shit
we
straight.
go.
Yeah, he
Right.
gonna bring Cornbread Con back out.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Ooh.
Look, did you see when Styles was like, "Yo, we said we gonna be chippy with each other." He had to do that because I wasn't in the room, but I imagine he had to do that because the tension in the room
It's
was getting
crazy.
palpable.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Let y'all know. And that scenes, shout out to Cameron for going to Juices for Life. And him and Styles, Cameron at Styles Juice shit, and them talking back and forth about the tour. It was beautiful to see.
Yeah.
But they said on the stage, we decided that we gonna have this boxer, Rucker Park, battle rap energy.
Right.
And they were smart. They entertainers as well.
Right.
They were smart to do that.
Yeah.
Because it drew us all in a way like, in the first verses that I started watching when it was back with Primo and the RZA, I remember seeing Black Thought, who got that competitive energy, in the comments like, yo, who's keeping score? Why y'all niggas not taking this seriously? Like, what's all this chatter?
like,
We supposed to be comparing records.
Right.
This is what Black Thought was writing in the comments.
Right.
So some people take it really, really serious.
That's how we were. We did a couple the group chat. The group
yeah,
chat.
group
This
chat
is group
before.
chat ugly, son. Group chat be all across America. You seen that bullshit? That round was whack. Yeah, listen. You gotta remember, we are all part of an artist community to a degree.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And as a comedian, I don't go to comedy shows anymore because I can't watch it like I used to when I was younger. I'm not sitting there laughing like ha ha ha. I'm sitting there going, it's really fucking good.
This nigga's the
Because
Joker. I seen the Joker do that in the movie.
Right.
Because you watch it at a certain level. We talked about this last time I was here. At a certain time, a certain level, you're watching it different. There's a difference between connoisseurs and consumers. Consumers are watching it strictly from an entertainment standpoint. I stayed out of your comments in the video. I stay out of. I don't go to the fucking comments.
Yeah, leave the comments alone.
I had 1 or 2 sent to me.
Give me all the comments.
Super clear that some of the things I was saying was going over certain people's heads. When he said he don't listen to music from an entertainment standpoint, I stopped listening to him. Bro, I'm not supposed, like, he's not doing that from a comedy standpoint.
Exactly.
None of us are listening to music at this level purely for entertainment. You can be entertained by it, but part of the job does not mean just sitting there snapping your fingers and enjoying
you gotta
it.
be
And if you're going into
You got you're a student of it at one point.
and that's not, you're not when you're.
But that goes back to what I was saying about that Kendrick song. It's because that's
You know what scares me about that? I didn't even mean to cut you. You know what scares me about that? The thing you said about Kendrick, what really scares me about that is I picture MCs who aren't as talented demanding the same level of space. Because you said you let Kendrick get away with it.
But you shouldn't be scared because I would never.
It's not even you I'm worried about.
No, but I would never. I would never. I did because here's the backstory. It was a hard decision. When I was listening to the verse before I decided to cut it, I was like, this is dope. And I was thinking maybe I'll put out an extended version later.
You got me thinking, because my verse was 24 bars.
Back to this.
Yo,
Back to this.
And we're back. But no, I'm sorry.
Let me tell you.
That was a callback. That was a callback.
So we on the same page.
Right.
I got a verse out there somewhere too, nigga. Don't do. My shit was supposed to make it on love.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
No, it's
all
fine.
good.
Yeah, I got a verse out
But
there.
it's like you said, like what you're saying is correct. And you do A&R work. And you've done all different types of jobs in this industry. So what you're saying is correct. But for me, what I learned in that space is that could serve me in some ways. But I had to for me to survive creatively, I had to move away from that. I had to actively get back to, oh no, I can't think about it in that way at all.
No. For you to be the creative, and for you to make a creative decision versus a business one, which is what we basically described. There's records who are formatted for radio. There's records that are formatted for the ladies. There's records format.
Right.
For you to say, okay, I did 16, he did 16. I'm gonna let this kid breathe with 24. That's a creative decision. I'm never mad at a purely creative decision, especially when it comes out as good as it does. They can be hit or miss.
Yeah.
But if the basis for you making the decision was creative, in a space where we supposed to be creative, I'm 100% for it, whether it hits or miss. I'm glad you gave it a shot. My issue, as the guy with 7 email addresses, becomes what happens when the one creative decision, when the exception to the rule, become food for the followers and they try to make it the norm, i.e. Jay-Z confessing that he doesn't write his rhymes down. And now everybody stops writing their rhymes down, and I get flooded with trash music because no one wants to write their shit down like they should, because Jay told you that he don't write his rhymes down. So him being the best, nobody listens to that objectively. Here comes everybody else. On this note, Talib Kweli, who's seen as one of our a top tier MC and who's respected by guys like Jay-Z and respected by all the lyricist lovers, he let Kendrick do it.
It's Kendrick though.
Yeah, but nobody thinks
But
like that.
it wasn't
Everybody thinks
Kendrick.
that they're the exception
Let me
to
tell
the
you,
rule when it happens.
people, let's all admit one thing: the exception to the rule becomes the rule.
Which becomes my
Or
problem because
sometimes the
not
exception to the rule proves that the rule exists.
that the rule
exists.
or the exception proves why he's the exception. And most people don't look at it like that. Most of these casual music makers, these dudes who flood my shit,
Like
they don't look at it like that.
Yasin Bey says all the time. He says they say to him, you know, Michael Jordan. He's Michael Jordan because he was in the field and he was shooting all night in North Carolina. His father did this and he went through all this training. Yeah, all that's true, but he's also Michael Jordan.
Right.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Well, you know what? On this topic, I'm just gonna quote Andre 3000, who I think you should do a versus with, and Rick Ross, who you shouldn't do a versus with. And, they put out a song a while back called "When 16 Ain't Enough."
Yeah. Love
And
that
you know
song.
what? He said it, and he said, sometimes I can't
16,
fit,
yeah. What I want to say in 16
I can't
bars.
fit my whole life into a 16.
Yeah, but that's 3 stacks, man. Like,
Hey.
please, when y'all listening to this, don't think
Listen
that you
to the rule, right?
Let's not forget.
He's like,
This is
hold on.
This is self-preservation.
Right, he's like,
This is self-preservation.
First of all,
He's concerned about his emails. That's what's going on.
Right,
No,
he's
no,
like,
no. Listen.
I'm not supposed to be.
are.
You don't have to sit.
Wait,
Listen,
which
I don't
one?
judge
This was a
self-preservation.
very
If you had to sit through some of the 24s that I've had to sit through
I believe
and really listen to them and take
Hey,
them
That nigga's
seriously,
like, keep it to
Hold
16.
on, time
nigga.
out. See, you gotta do comedy. You know why? Because you only gotta sit through 24. Sit through 5 minutes of this shit straight.
I refuse.
Sit through this whole 5 minutes
not.
of fire and brimstone.
But this whole thing is kind of like a Wu-Tang format. Wu-Tang, like, if you was getting off, you was getting off. Win awards. Capadonna, you want to rap for 50 bars? Go ahead.
But you know what?
I mean? Like,
Look who
RZA
he's
came
talking
in.
about.
Wait, you gotta remember that
Exactly.
the
And
RZA
boom.
came in,
that didn't even sound like the end.
and I want to
They
say,
have songs where Ghostface is still rapping and
And
it's
the song
faded
ends.
out.
Look who we
That's my
talking
shit.
about.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Look who we talking
but you gotta
about.
remember-
Monumental, groundbreaking. The Wu logo is
McDonald's.
If it's not as famous,
As
it's more
McDonald's.
famous than the Rolling Stones logo.
It's
like
more famous.
musically,
It's the best
it's
logo of all
as
time.
famous
Okay.
as
And Wu-Tang is a language.
we talking about the wrong thing because
No,
I feel like
I got you.
I feel like the issue here is when did 16 become the format?
The 16 is
The
always the
radio.
format.
no.
The radio.
My issue is the exception versus the rule. I understand you wanting to get away with it. Not everybody has the skill to pull it off, and creatively you shouldn't try. Some artists' egos will carry them past the point of good common sense.
Right.
And that becomes my problem.
I can hear him right now.
on a hip hop beat.
But you're not saying no names, so
Wait,
that's
time out.
we
The
gotta
way
move on from the
Wait,
south.
back.
The way
I
they
can
hear
hear
You
him right
don't
now.
say no names,
I can
bro.
say names. You wouldn't
Here's
know who I was
how-
talking
here's how-
about.
I want to know.
Wait, here's how he replied to the email.
You wouldn't know
Who is he
talking about.
talking
Here's how he's replying to the email.
Who
Your
hit his
first
email?
16 weren't good.
And
Those
got
last
this
eight were
man all
just good.
disgruntled. I need to know who got you disgruntled, bro. Like, who was it?
I mean,
People that never
yeah,
came
like
out, right?
yeah, these aren't people. These are people who I've worked with and told them, listen, this won't work.
Who?
For this reason? You're dragging this
You
out.
gonna stop this shit.
You
It turns into an album.
You wouldn't know if I said the names. Like I went, and I'm not gonna blow him up so he gets more fame coming back talking about Mecca's a hater.
But he might need to hear this.
Oh, he heard it.
No, he's not gonna know.
said he's
Nobody's gonna alert him.
No,
He
I
might not
said-
know.
He said to me right now, talking about,
Listen,
he talking about me.
Look, I believe in interventions, and sometimes you
passed
gotta
that
be
point.
like,
He's done.
look,
We passed
homie,
the point.
this is what it is, homie.
Don't be
You know
mad.
what I
UPS is hired.
Hey, sometimes you might be a better UPS man than a rapper.
No, listen.
It's a thing.
My man Big Ill and Mac, right, from Ill and Out Scratch.
Right.
When I met Big Ill and Out wasn't supposed to be a group.
Come
They just kind
around
of got
my
lumped
way.
together.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Big Ill,
Up to no good.
occupation, is a nigga was a Wall Street banker. We used to go pick this nigga up in the suit. Him, my man, it was him. We used to run him and Pudgy. Remember Pudgy the Fat
Pudgy the
Guy?
fat
Yeah,
bastard.
yeah. Wow.
It was us. That was right. We used to run around. Ill used to come from the fucking bank and change from suit to hip hop on the way to the venue.
Up to no good.
I know what that's like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, word.
Facts. We'll get into that.
We'll get into
Shout
that.
out to Blackstone LLC.
Wow, that just happened.
Right,
Yeah, that just happened.
That just happened.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
I'm-
This is a
Nigga,
whole
you used to do
story.
contracting in Iraq?
No,
This nigga said Blackstone.
no, they're one of the biggest
nigga's a
investment banking
mercenary.
firms in the
Different
world.
company, different company, different
Blackstone
company.
is the biggest one of the biggest investment banking firms in the world.
You used to be a banker, Hoffa?
I used to work there. So I'm gonna say
Like
we
Mary
can get into this later.
We got hold on.
We can get into this later. It was called office service, but we can get into this later.
Office service.
All right. Now we were at the show at the Blue Note, and we were watching a video of James Brown calling Prince and Michael Jackson
I saw that
to the
video.
stage.
Jackson.
And we talked about Prince kind of trolling with the guy carrying
Yeah.
and all that stuff. Now this is a friend of yours. Rest in peace.
That's a piece of Prince.
Just out of the sake of Prince fans and people out there that loved his music or didn't get to know what he was like to be around. I mean, we've seen Dave Chappelle skits. We know he could ball.
Right, hold on. I want to say something first. Yeah, Prince wasn't trolling at all. We won't use that word at all. He didn't mean that shit. Ladies and gentlemen, he didn't mean that.
I think Prince was trolling a little bit.
He wasn't trolling. Listen, there's a very big difference between trolling and stunting. I believe that
He was stunting, yeah, that's
the word
definitely
he
a
had.
stunt.
Yo, look,
He was
okay,
stunting.
He
That
had,
word,
he had somebody that looked like a cross between Santa Claus and Hulk Hogan carrying
Carrying him on his
him
back.
to the stage.
Right, because I don't walk here.
Yeah.
Stunt, that's a stunt. That's a stunt.
That's stunting.
That's a stunt. We'll get
How many
that
times niggas carry you to the stage on their shoulders, Hoffa?
There's a small overlap between stunting and trolling.
Right.
Very small.
Right.
Yeah.
But in that space,
You
Thank you, sir.
you have any stories of him stunting?
Prince stunting. Yeah.
He like that. All of them. Yeah.
All of them. Which one you want? He would do outfit wardrobe changes at the crib.
At the crib.
Yeah.
So wait. Like Mr. Rogers, like
So he'd have on like a white jumpsuit. And then hours later, same jumpsuit, but black now.
Stunting.
That's a stunt.
That's
Right.
stunting.
Yeah, I was playing I was telling y'all this in the dressing room. I was playing a BT Deborah Lee party because that's what my life was like at that time.
right.
I was the underground rapper who was also hired to DJ Deborah Lee's party, even though they never played my fucking videos on BET. This is the type of life I was living.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? This is what I mean about.
that's disgusting.
Yeah, I was like,
so
yeah,
disrespectful.
yeah.
You're not gonna play.
But I
You're gonna play our shit.
I took that gig because I wanted to
That's probably why I
DJ.
did it, to get it done.
Yeah, I
Right.
wanted to DJ. I don't want to show these niggas.
You gonna pay
like,
me one way or the other?
Yeah.
I was to show these niggas like I'm still in the party, nigga. I'm controlling the music in this party. You know what I'm saying?
Playing all my shit.
And Prince came in, and he's like, I'm playing a BET party. I don't remember what record was out at that year, but he was like, you gonna keep playing all this hip hop? Like I didn't put on this outfit to get cursed out all night long. So then I tried to switch it up.
Right.
I played Shaka Khan. Which record did I play? I don't remember which record.
Feel for you?
It wasn't Feel For You. I think it was like maybe I Know You, I Live You.
That's a great record.
One of Shaka Khan records. You know, you DJing. You know what I'm saying? Like you in the mix. I was in the mix with DJ Talib Kweli.
Sweating.
You know what I'm saying? I was in the mix.
DJ
You know
Talib.
what I'm saying?
Right.
And Prince came up to me. He was like, "That record don't go like that." Because I'm in the mix. I'm playing it a couple BPMs too fast to match the last record I played.
Right.
But he's like, "You playing it too fast." And he the only one in the room.
That knows this.
Yeah.
Complaining.
Now you complaining.
Wow.
That knows this.
Yeah, he's like, you playing, you know what I'm saying? And that was a lesson for me.
Wow.
If I can't get to where the record's supposed to be,
Don't be
then
there.
maybe that's not the record for right now.
No. Right.
Like, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? Because DJs, you know, when I've look, I'm still, for all the real DJs in the house, don't get upset. I'm still a celebrity DJ. You know what I'm
you're
saying?
not.
Like, I'm not,
No,
I'm
we
a celebrity
passed that.
DJ.
No, let me
Right.
tell you why you're not a
I
celebrity.
might be one of the best celebrity
You
DJs.
no, you
but-
are no.
but I'm still a
You
celebrity.
are a celebrity. That don't got nothing to do with you being a nice DJ. I watched from when you was struggling with blends. We killing the parties now.
Oh yeah,
Wow.
Right.
My blend is sufficient. It's
Listen.
just good
That-
enough.
That's interesting.
I used to heckle
My blend is just good enough. But
A lot
my
of modesty,
selection is
a lot of modesty in this thing.
Yeah.
I know because I'm a rapper,
Right.
so I know how I feel about hip hop. You
Right.
come into this space, don't come here half-ass, half-cock. So I know in a DJ
So
space.
you're an MC.
Yeah, I'm an MC,
Say-
right?
Have
Say
you
that
ever
right.
seen Drake DJ?
Say that right.
Have I ever seen Drake?
Say that right.
Drake DJ.
I'm a rapper too, but I'm an MC. by-
MC first,
Yeah,
bro.
that's
Say
right.
that
Have you
right.
ever seen-
Say
ever
that
seen
right.
Wait,
Drake-
Drake.
Wait, time out. He's not
Drake
an
DJ?
MC. He's a
Hold on.
lyricist.
Drake DJ?
Drake DJ'd at the Heat when they won the championship for the second time. I was
What does
there.
that look
I was
like?
a
Yeah.
VIP.
For the love of God.
What is that?
Oh no, it was good. It was actually
he was
good.
mixing?
Yeah, he was actually doing this thing.
Let me tell you the best.
When I
Was
ran
it-
into him,
was
he
it-
was like, "Yo, I'm DJing tonight." I was
Was
like,
it?
"What the fuck?"
It was
I
a
was like,
selection, right? He was
Yeah.
picking good records.
good records.
Drake
Very
got
good
an
records.
incredible ear,
Yeah.
so I
The
can
best-
see him being good at
The
that.
best celebrity DJ, and I hate to say this with all you musicians in the room, is motherfucking Russell Peters. That Indian.
Russell Peters can.
Russell Peters is
Russell
nice.
Peters knows his hip hop.
And he's a connoisseur.
You know,
Right.
he's a connoisseur of hip hop. But you talk about Q-Tip. You know
I
what I'm
was
saying?
about
you
to say.
kinda-
Oh wait, time out.
You talking about
kinda
Biz Markie.
eliminating a lot of
Biz,
people,
no,
bro.
wait, Biz is technically.
When you say celebrity DJ,
Biz is not.
you mean not started as a DJ,
And not right,
but then
correct.
became a
Became
DJ.
a
Okay,
Right.
but wait, because I'm still gonna. I got. If they gonna do a versus, I got my money on. Oh God, just because I want to say his name, I can't. Black dude, English accent.
Idris Elba.
Yes.
Yeah.
Idris Elba nice.
Son,
Idris
nice,
Elba-
son,
Idris
son.
Elba's nice.
Stop,
and he,
stop.
And he could do the dancehall
Wait,
shit. And
Bro,
that Afrobeat shit.
bro,
He's-
he will.
Idris Elba fire.
Idris
nice.
Elba will flame
He's
a
nice.
party
Oh,
on
I got
the one and
now I'm
twos.
checking tonight.
Idris
Oh,
Elba.
Idris Elba.
What?
I gotta
Bro.
check this out.
Go, yo,
I'm
do your
checking this
homework,
out.
bro. Do your
I
Yeah,
gotta
Idris
homework.
Elba's
check
nice.
this out.
Son
Idris
is,
Elba's nice on everything though. He could rap. He could
yeah, I've
sing.
heard that too.
Listen,
Yeah,
when I
but
found
him-
out about
him on-
Idris Elba, I was fucked up because I caught him when I first started really paying attention to him was The Wire, right?
Right.
And after The Wire ended,
most of us.
right?
Yeah.
As soon as he started talking, bloke, I said, "This nigga's not American from the hood."
I don't know if he said bloke, but
No. You know what I mean, nigga.
Nigga's like, cheerio.
Cheerio. Wow, that's better.
Yeah, I was kind of shocked too because you string a bell.
Yeah, you're right.
Then you
Nah,
hear him talk.
When
you're
I
like,
heard, I
wait
said,
a minute.
Yo,
Yo,
wait a
them
minute.
English
He's even
actors
from
in the
this
party.
country.
Them English
I think
actors.
he's from Boston.
Listen,
I'm like,
the training they get as actors in England
Yeah.
is a different level
It's
shit.
different.
That's why a lot of, there's a nativist movement, nativist people be mad that all these English people, actors from get these roles
Oh,
like
why
the man from
Australians-
Snowfall and all that.
Uh-huh.
But they have a different level of training. That
They
shit's
do.
crazy.
It really is.
Is it Spider-Man English?
No, they was talking about
The kid
trying to
who
make
plays
Captain
Spider-Man
America
is
Australian.
Australian.
yeah,
Australian,
Australian.
thank
Yeah,
Right.
he's
They
Australian.
was trying to make Captain America Australian. And America
He is
was
Australian.
Wolverine's
He
Australian.
is Australian, isn't he? Where's
No, he's a white boy.
Thor is
Thor
Oh,
is
Captain
Australian.
America. I'm
Right,
fine.
yo,
Thor
Captain
is
America is a
Australian.
pure blood
Look,
white boy.
Wolverine's Australian. That's weird enough.
Yeah, he is.
That's weird enough. You know what I mean?
Technically,
Jack-
comic
Jack,
book niggas
you-
don't know where
Jack-
Wolverine from.
Hugh Jackman.
That nigga Canadian.
I feel like Mel Gibson would have been the best Wolverine. Ever.
Who? Why they call you a nigga and the claws?
Explain.
He was like, shrink, nigga.
Explain that one.
Lethal Weapon 1.
I'm familiar.
Riggs.
Riggs is Wolverine.
Word.
A little
Riggs
off.
is Wolverine,
Same
bro.
hair, a little off.
Riggs is Wolverine.
Soldier, kind of short. He wasn't stocky. He had to put some weight on, but I'm
His
not.
tolerance for pain. Riggs is
If that's the
Wolverine.
case, the Rambo is Wolverine.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Yeah,
I would
don't
give
know.
Sly Stallone that shit first.
Wolverine.
As
No.
Rambo is the first Wolverine.
Wolverine's a character.
Yeah, but Wolverine.
Rambo,
you talking about
Rambo
is
is
his
like
own character.
short killer.
He's a lot of facial
right, lot of
expression.
facial, right? Wolverine.
Wolverine is the character. He's
I don't know about Hugh Jackman.
he's sharp. He's sharp
Rambo
with the
Rambo
snaps.
looks like Wolverine. Hugh Jackman Wolverine.
Listen,
Well, hold on. Let's hold on. Now, hold on.
let's be straight.
Hugh Jackman. And it's probably going to be the least gangster moment of this episode.
Here we
Okay.
go.
This man is an incredible actor.
Yes.
Incredible.
Yes,
This guy
agreed.
is fucking incredible.
Agreed.
This guy does a one-man show in Vegas by himself. He defined that fucking character, man. Hugh Jackman did an incredible job.
How is this the least gangster mode?
We talking comic book shit. This real shit.
I think that
I'm just saying, he's a good dancer.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you why Hugh Jackman can't be the Wolverine because they stuck all the bad X-Men around him, and that franchise died and killed it with him. Even as he's good, and they try to move him forward.
No,
they
Shout out to
No.
Idris Elba on the ones and twos. Just
yeah.
Yeah.
Let's,
Don't back me.
all
Back
right,
to
we-
you.
let's spin it back around.
Go back, yeah.
I asked you that night. I said, okay, if you're James Brown in this footage,
Yeah.
who is Michael and Prince? Because they both studied
Right. And I said
James
that
Brown.
Kanye is Michael.
Kanye's Michael.
And I said J. Cole would be Prince, but then I changed it to
To
Kendrick.
Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Kanye
To
is
think
Michael.
about.
If you put it in the context of that moment when James Brown was on stage,
Kanye is
I
Michael.
would definitely say Kanye's Michael.
Okay. Kanye is Michael. Okay.
that's a hell of a question, though, brother. That's like a god tier podcast hip hop question that you asked me. That's like an incredibly put together, well crafted
We
question.
here.
Yeah, because I'm still
You
thinking
gotta
of the
be a
answer.
real rap fan to even be able to even
Understand
I'm
it.
still thinking of the answer. I would have just said Cole and Kendrick.
in the context of that question, not in any other context. Well, some other context, because I had Terrence Martin on People's Party. Shout out to People's Party.
Man.
Right.
You know, and Terrence Martin described working on To Pimp a Butterfly, and the way he described it was excellent. He said it's like a black Disneyland. And I was like, yeah, like an amusement park for the black mind.
Right.
And that's what Prince was doing. You know what I'm saying?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Wow.
So there's parallels to what some of the musical choices that Kendrick made, walking around with those faces. Or some of the choices he made musically is like, well, Prince would have tried to throw everything into that pot. But he's coming at it from a kid who grew up idolizing Tupac and seeing me and Tupac at the swap meet instead of a kid who grew up, you know, in Minneapolis.
Okay, I see it now.
You know?
I see
Deep.
it. Okay.
It's deep.
Okay.
But for his question to work, I have to be James Brown, right?
Right. No, that's what I'm saying.
In that alternate universe, where I'm
The
James-
Godfather of hip hop.
Yeah, in that alternate universe.
But
Of conscious rap. This is what.
The only thing that throws me is era-wise. Kanye was before,
Right, before,
Kanye
right.
precedes. I would think they would have to be
So J.
Michael
Cole-
Jackson
similar era.
preceded Prince.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that was like a light.
No, it's
No,
not.
it
Michael
wasn't
Jackson
like-
been doing it since he
wasn't
was
like-
5.
No,
He
it's
had
not
been
like-
like
wasn't
5,
like-
15
I'm
years.
not
Michael-
counting. I'm
Michael
not counting
Jackson-
Jackson.
But you can't discredit
I'm
that.
not counting.
You
Five
can't.
years
There's
ago,
no way to
different
discredit
things.
that.
I'm not counting Jackson 5
You have
era
to, but you
because
have
to. Not.
because I'm counting the time when he went on his own and did his own thing,
Right.
and Prince was on his own doing his own thing,
Yeah.
which was kind of, and they kind of
But see,
met.
that-
But
when
the
Michael went out on
correlation
his
here
own-
is how long do you think Michael was watching James
But
Brown?
No,
see,
no,
Ken,
no.
the way that you frame it, can I even answer that, right? Because that question that he asked me, as great as it was a very hard question. I answered it quickly, but even though I answered it quickly doesn't mean it wasn't a hard question. It was a hard question. I'm just in that much invested that my answer came quickly. But you're adding another layer. You're adding like, no, the timing got to make sense as well. The timing got to line up. And if that's the case, well then that's homework.
Yeah.
I need to think about it.
Think about it like this.
Come
You
back
can't-
and come back.
No. Here's why you can't think about it in a different context like that. That's and Common
Because
and Kendrick work out for that. Because Michael Jackson didn't come out like a solo. Like Prince had to build his bones from a solo artist and raise his stakes. Michael Jackson came into the game as a solo artist as fucking Michael Jackson. He came in that way. Hard body, a career behind him. Godparents is all of the people that run the whole shit.
Right.
Everybody you look up to is who Michael Jackson is raised by. So you can't be like, nah, because he's a little older.
Right.
Michael Jackson's career would put him in a common position.
And that would be
According
Kanye.
to, right, because Kendrick, fresh out the gate. Common?
No. We're not talking about Common.
I mean, no,
Yeah.
I'm talking about Common. Common would be Michael Jackson.
No, we're not talking. We didn't say Common. I said Kendrick would be. I said Kanye.
Kanye, would be
Kanye.
Kanye.
would be Michael
Right.
Jackson.
Not
Yeah,
Kanye.
Kanye.
And I only stopped because of the
Kanye's
errors, but I'm not anti. I'm only.
Now speaking of Kanye,
No, I can't. First, that could never work because if I'm James Brown in that analogy has to be people came after you.
After you.
Common came
out
before
when
me.
he came
Common's my
before
OG.
you.
You
okay.
know what I'm saying?
Speaking of Kanye, I gotta bring this up. Recently, he moved to change his name to Ye. There's been this whole kind of feud between him and Drake, and we're waiting on these albums from both of them, and it seems like they're playing a chess game right now. We don't all understand Kanye, but this is a friend of yours. Can you help us understand what's going on with Donda, bro? We waiting on it, but it's like he's waiting on what is happening right now.
I told this guy he could ask me anything. But
Yes,
that
yes.
I didn't think you were going to fuck
doesn't mean I have
that.
answers for me. I love Kanye. I love him with all my heart.
Right.
He's one of my favorite people. I severely and wholeheartedly disagree with him about several things that he said when it comes to certain political things. Obviously, I've made this very public. It's not a mystery how I feel.
Right.
I've said this to him publicly in the press, and I've said it privately at the crib to him.
Right.
And I almost feel like I don't get invites to the crib now anymore.
Because of it.
Yeah, I do. I do feel like that. But Kanye also has said to me, you know, Kanye is just somebody who, when it comes to this album things, remember what I said? This keeps the callback. It keeps coming back to this, me learning that lesson from Kendrick.
Right.
I'm such in a space with my career right now where a lot of that album release and being so competitive in that space, especially for the age that these men are at. And I know that it seems like Drake is just responding. It seems like Kanye is instigating a lot of this stuff, but Drake is being responsive. But on both sides, it just seems very petty to me.
Petty.
On both sides. And pettiness is valued in our culture, but it's not a virtue. But, you know, people think it is.
Right.
But it's not a virtue. Pettiness, it seems fun to be petty, but that's not something we should strive to be.
Right.
We should be patting ourselves on the back.
It's cute, but it's not. It shouldn't be
This
an
shit ain't
ambition.
even cute.
Nah.
Shit is ugly.
And Kanye
think
is
so?
so important.
Yo, being petty
Kanye is
is-
so important. And Drake is so important that what they could be doing musically and how they could be moving the culture forward is the potential is limitless. Fuck a release date. Like, I don't care about any of that.
What do you think is fueling this feud?
I spoke with Drink Champs about something that I felt personally. I feel like Kanye creates a situation where he competes with Drake because he's competitive, all that competitive shit.
Yeah.
Kanye's still in that space, obviously.
Right. Yeah. Definitely.
Obviously, he's still in that space.
Definitely.
I can't judge him for it. I can't hate on him for it because I've been in that space.
Right.
He is just a lot more honest than I was. When I was in that space, I was in denial. I was like, I'm competing with these niggas, but I would have never been like, I'm waiting for you to drop I'm waiting for your release date. I might have been on
You didn't
some
make
shit
it
like
personal.
that. No,
publicly.
I just wouldn't have made it public. But
Right.
I've been that petty before.
With who?
I don't know if
Is
you
that petty?
I'm
I
about
don't
to
think
say,
that's petty.
I don't think.
When did
Hey,
J.
I don't know if
Cole
that's
say
petty.
I'm dropping the same
Which
day
part?
that
Which song don't
Kanye
you
does?
think is petty?
I don't think.
What
No.
song? Huh? That was a while back, right?
This is like
Correct. J. Cole started all this. If y'all want to look, J. Cole when Kanye.
No.
dropped this album in
This-
he did
No, who was it that dropped
This
the same day as
started with
Kanye?
this started with Kanye in 50.
50?
That's
These are
when
some
it
of
was
the
a big
And
deal.
that was
dropped my
more
album, you dropped
labels.
your album.
Right.
Shit.
That was
Exactly.
more labels.
That's when it was a versus thing. When people decided,
So then this
I have
is-
to take a side
So then
rather
this
than
is-
I'm gonna get both albums.
Then
People would
technically
take a
that's not
side.
petty. It's Kanye lane.
I mean, are
He
we
just
talking?
wanna
Are we
say-
talking? Because we just switched it to a music business conversation. Because
Right.
if we're talking about music business, this is excellent.
Oh
Because
yeah,
that
no,
means
fantastic.
everyone-
Everybody's,
that means everyone's
everybody's
numbers
Oh
are
yeah,
gonna go up.
there's
Right, everybody
cartoons.
gonna go up.
Listen, right now there's cartoons about this shit, and they're hilarious.
I've seen them.
Yeah.
They're hilarious.
Then that means Kanye's doing something right.
I don't consider.
If they not talking about you,
I don't consider artistic competition petty. I don't consider wanting to compete with.
Is competing over first day sales artistic competition?
No, that's
You
business.
think that's what this is?
No, that's not what I think this is.
that's ego.
I think.
So what do you think is?
sold
What do you
more
think
you
is?
on
What do you
the
think is the
first day.
metric for
That's
this?
ego.
What do you think is the metric for this
business-
competition?
super
That's a whole line.
That's ego.
Business and ego intertwine a lot.
Yeah.
When you start talking about sales, that becomes
Let me
business
tell you what
and ego.
never intertwines with anything.
Artistic
Money.
competition is more along the lines of
How you touch the culture?
God bless, rest in peace, Prodigy. You rap niggas make me laugh. Crazy track. I don't give a fuck what you sold. That shit is trash. Artistic competition goes above and beyond how many
Sales.
records you sell. Like
Correct.
you can sell whatever you want.
Except-
dude, you know in your heart, my album better than yours.
Correct.
And I'm gonna drop my shit around and I'm gonna highlight the fact that my album is shitting on yours. I don't give a fuck what you sell. How many people are behind you?
All that energy right there. I understand why it's valuable. I understand why people love it. In the past, me being on that type of shit has served me well. I'm just not on that no more.
Fine.
Right?
Fine.
And I appreciate it for what it is.
Right.
But I'm not on it, and I can't judge another man by where I'm at personally.
No, but we've already
Yeah.
agreed that Kanye is still
He's still
in
there.
that competitive
Competitive
space.
But
zone.
me personally, me personally, how I feel. I wish, and I know, I tell people tell me what they wish all the time, and I tell them, take your wishes, hopes, and dreams, write it down on some rainbow paper with some dolphins and some unicorns, put it in the mail, and put a bow on it and shove that shit up your ass. I don't give a fuck about your wishes, hopes, and dreams.
That shit,
you know what I'm saying? But what I do wish, given that caveat, for Kanye, is that he was above that. I wish he was away from that because, and Drake, to be honest too. Because I feel like where we're at post-pandemic, that shit was cool before the pandemic. Post the lockdown with all, like, none of that shit matter, bro. It doesn't matter. Music is subjective.
Right.
There's gonna be people who like Kanye better. It doesn't matter. I would be way more excited, me personally. I'm just speaking personally, not for the culture. Just me personally.
Right.
I'd be more excited to see them collaborate. And if this is some big WWE type setup for it to be like, how now we gonna make a song together? Then I'll shut the fuck up.
I have one question.
We don't know what the rollout.
Yeah.
I have
What's gonna
one
happen?
question. I have one question. With everything you just said, putting all that under the same umbrella, and knowing that I agree with you, right? Knowing I would rather see the best, even if they're gonna clash at top
the
levels.
top
We
level,
talked about that. Making music together, with making a song together or making an album together. Oh God, being like the top, the cherry on top of the cake. My thought when I see these two going back and forth is one of y'all niggas don't like each other. And it could be because the other one's a bitch.
Nah, I wouldn't say that. I mean,
Kanye
was on Instagram talking about a nigga trying to holler at his wife. Kanye might have a personal problem.
So why would
he posted Drake's address.
I just said that. I just said
No, you said you might be a
address was
bitch. Having a nigga holler at my wife, I ain't a bitch if I'm trying to kill her.
Whoa.
Oh, no.
Not killing like that.
That's
But
not happening.
I don't mean killing like physically. I mean like
All of this shit.
If you're
All
going
of this
after,
shit
hold
is
on,
petty.
let me put
Petty.
this.
Is Kanye kind of?
Let me
Let me put this out. Let me put this out right now. If you're going after somebody else's anything, that's sucker shit.
To say
let me
petty.
just that's sucker shit. I don't do sucker shit. I don't condone sucker shit. You're trying to fuck somebody's wife on purpose. You're trying to violate somebody's mom, somebody's kid. That's for me. That's
we don't
sucker
know.
shit.
We don't know any of this is.
No,
that's what I'm saying. I see
It's
you talking
allegedly.
about this shit.
But
Like,
the energy for
But
me
it's
just
hip-hop
looks like
energy.
somebody don't like the other person. Like we can't get to an album or we can't get to a song together because dog, I don't like you.
I'm gonna weigh in here just as on an inside track behind the fourth wall.
Okay.
And unless it's something I'm not just gonna say these two fucking incredible, powerful, excellent black men have no reason to not like each other. Yeah. There's no real reason for them to not like each other.
There is one reason.
What could be?
There can only be one.
And that's not a real reason.
Motherfuckers is on Highlander time out here.
And that's not a real reason. But you're right, that's the reason. But that's the reason we're at this stage in the culture, where we at, and the fact that niggas is rapping about each other's ages. Jay-Z and Nas did that already. How we still rap about each other's ages? All of us is old, nigga. All of us.
Because
Kanye, you old. Drake, you old. Everybody old.
Because
Pusha,
you corny.
everybody old.
We all
right,
you
right.
corny.
Right.
You corny and you need an advantage, and that plays. You corny and you need an advantage. It's a corny thing to hit on, in my opinion. Like for me, that's a corny. That's right up there with I got more money than you. Like
No, I got-
yeah, like
yeah, I mean-
for me that's the same shit.
Yeah.
If we talking artistic competition,
You know what I mean?
But, and this is look, maybe I don't know enough about the new rap beast to know, but is it a fact that he was even talking about their age? Because I listened to the song, and it seems like maybe he was implying it, but it was so indirect that maybe that's not even what the fuck he meant.
possible,
You know what I'm saying?
possible.
But we
Niggas
all
be reading
but
into
that's
these
what-
balls different.
That's what I mean is petty. It's like
I'm on
Let
the
me tell you how
outside
it's crazy.
looking in.
That
It's all
happens.
pure
Let me
speculation.
tell you-
My whole
Did you see
thought
me-
is
you
the
see-
energy is that one of these two
Memphis
dudes don't
Bleak.
like each other.
Right.
on Nori and EFN joint.
Right.
Talking about I thought niggas was talking about me.
And
Niggas
they
wasn't
wasn't.
even talking
It
about
was the
me.
shit
Right.
that killed me, right? And I mean, it was funny to learn it now. Jadakiss did a interview recently after the verses, and he was talking about how the song that he did with him and Big, how him and Big is battling in this song. I double back to listen to the shit, and him and Big are legitimately battling in the song, right?
Which song are we talking about?
What was the joint with him and Big?
I don't remember the name of it.
Yeah, right.
What,
You know what I'm talking about?
I know this song.
Right.
Is it Big and Kiss
It's
exclusive?
big. No, I think it's Locks on. It's Locks on.
Last
but
Days.
It might have been Last Stage. I'm gonna check.
No.
I want to say it's a mixtape joint.
It's a mix of the joint on Cream.
Was that it?
I gotta check.
Yeah, we'll double back.
When you check it, I listened to that song 100 times. No whole shit.
Because there's such a thing as competition without malice.
Without malice.
My father used to preach that all the time. You're supposed to want to
battle
compete
rap.
with the best. They got a lot of malice in battle rap. A lot of times,
Hold on.
maybe coming across bomb malicious in battle rap.
This nigga is out here talking about really? Hold on.
A lot of malice in battle rap. I'm not sure you're talking about the right section of people.
Good for the culture.
Good for the culture.
Good for the culture.
I mean,
I won't lie. You changed it all with one swing. Muhammad Ali, nigga.
Oh, come on, man. Come on. I still got to do
You never gonna live that down, bro. I've been on this show.
I will.
Let me tell you.
I definitely
it's
will.
It's not
but
the swing that killed me with him, right? It's when 10, 15, 20 years later, him and the nigga battle again, and he starts the shit off just like this. Yo, I want to do this. Just want to say I'm doing this for the culture. And I'm saying it's a long time and all the problems and all that shit. And I just want to know it's love. They went like this, and the nigga said like this. Nigga said,
he still look like a sucker. A stupid motherfucker, right?
listen, I was like this. That was worse than the punch.
No, that was good. That was good.
That was
stagecraft.
worse than the punch.
That's what we call razzmatazz.
Let me tell you. I watched that. I love Hoffa videos. I sat there for the first time in my life and looked at the video and said,
Yo.
that nigga a piece of shit.
Yo,
that
let me
nigga
tell you
did
something, man. I dapped this dude 50 times to line him up for it. I came into the event and I was like, yo, we gonna put on the classic. It's all love. Philly and Brooklyn. I just kept doing it because I was like, you gotta get used to just giving me a dap.
Nigga started the battle.
And then when I started to dap it away, he went, I was like, got him.
He still looked like
Love
this.
it.
I said,
so
yo.
Petty is good.
But that's not.
Petty
See,
is good.
that's to me. That's show business. That's performance.
No,
That's performance.
technically, I
That's
hurt
it.
his feelings in that moment.
Listen, and
But really bad. Really bad.
That's
Really
it.
bad.
But
You see his face.
You did it.
He went.
Yo,
But
he
you
was
did it.
right.
You did it on a stage with a spotlight on you. This is show business.
With the purpose of throwing him off his game.
You went into that battle like,
Right.
how can I be the most entertaining on that stage?
Right.
You didn't go into it like I hope. You didn't go into it like I hope that this nigga want to get it on. Nigga, I hope this nigga want all the stuff.
Right.
You went into it like I'm gonna entertain the crowd.
No, he went into it like
gets
this.
advantage
So
and
this
throw him
is-
off his game.
So
Yeah.
this could that possibly be what's going on between Drake and Kanye right now?
Possibly, and I hope so. I pray for the best. I have
know,
faith in them.
I do wish.
They both very intelligent men.
Yeah,
The energy
I
just
do
looks
wish.
like they
The
don't get
flyest
along.
shit would be if they concocted this. That would be the fly.
That would
Listen,
be
I won't
awesome.
lie.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
Drake over Kanye beat.
They got one record together, right? That Glow record, right?
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah,
great record.
I don't listen to songs called Glow.
It just-
Fire for that.
Chill.
Bro, behind
You gotta get us canceled on the podcast.
behind the scenes, seeing how some of these dudes, seeing
Fire for
how,
that. I'm out here. Fire by
seeing
that.
how some of these dudes record behind the scenes, hearing the talk. I don't know anything about their situation. I'm just reading the energy. The energy comes across is I don't like you as a person. That's what it.
Well, let me-
looks
let me-
like.
Hold
let
on.
me-
I want to give this side of it. Sometimes in battle rap, that is what it is. We get up on that stage, we say what we need to say, and it's like once that last third round is done,
It's done.
it's like a weight lifted, and now this person is like,
Y'all in it
Yo.
together.
You're right. We in it together.
this
now.
is a classic.
Fighters do that,
That
too.
becomes
Fighters do that
important.
too.
Right.
Fighters
This
do
is
that
a
too.
classic. We did it.
Well, in battle rap,
Yo,
let me
hit
tell
me
you-
tomorrow. What you doing tonight?
And let's say this.
Battle
You know what I
rap
mean?
is a real fist fight.
Right.
Me and my man's on the block. I done fought all of my friends at least once. I say
you are
that
a
to
terrible
say
Yeah,
they are
that's
still
that's
my
kind of messed
friends.
up.
You are an awful.
You got
friend.
You
female
never had a
friends.
fight with any of your friends?
not a fist
Oh,
fight.
And then he said all of
never
them.
had
He said
all of them.
Oh, not and definitely
Look,
not
look,
all
let's
of
put-
them.
let's put
Ocean Avenue niggas.
Nigga, my friends love me.
Let's put a pin in this. Let's put a pin in
I
this
had
Kanye
a
Drake
fight.
shit.
Yeah,
I had a
we
fight
got
with all of my friends.
Let's put a pin in this
But
Kanye Drake shit by saying this. If you in a group chat with a nigga, there's always a chance.
Fair.
There's always a chance to be friends
That's
with
it
you.
now.
Fair.
I guess I am from the late
I'm quiet.
1900s.
I'm quiet.
You in the group chat.
I'm
with
from the
him,
late
right?
1900s. Shit,
If you're in a group chat, There's always a chance for reconciliation.
Right.
I've
And they're in the
yet
group
to
chat.
see
They're
either
in the
one of
group
them.
chat. That's what you're saying.
I've
You
yet
made
to
a decision to.
Word.
Right.
So
I
when
get
I,
it.
The
when I say
screenshot.
get some shit in the group chat and everybody hear it, now it's even more war.
Okay.
I've yet to see either one of them do anything you can't come back from.
Like I said, only thing I heard.
Howard,
and I
you
wanna
want
say-
your
addresses?
You can come back.
I don't
from
know.
that.
That's kind of crazy.
I don't know.
Crazy.
You can come back.
I'm gonna post the
It's
address.
crazy.
You live in a gated community.
Yeah,
Niggas
especially
so
if I
what?
don't stay there all the time.
You
Like,
can't even get in here.
if I got a whole nother house to go to, like if
I
I want to get
mean-
this.
All right. Let's. We just want classics, please. 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 We just want classics.
That's all.
There was another challenge that was issued.
Milk crate.
Damon Wayans.
Milk crates.
No. We keep. I'd love to talk about that, but no, not right now. Damon Wayans challenged Dave Chappelle to a versus.
Right.
Who wins and why?
It goes by this. If
Talked about it
they're
outside.
talking about stand-up sets, I'm gonna have to hands down, outright give it to the GOAT Chappelle. Outright. I'm
Okay.
gonna give it to him. If we're talking in living color
Sketches.
sketches versus the Chappelle show, Damon Wayans has a very good
We now have a
chance
fight.
of walking out of this fight.
We have a fight.
It's a very good chance.
I agree.
I mean, I love Big B. Dave did some classic shit, but I will not ever take anything away from Damon Wayans in Living Color. He had those characters are immortalized. All of them. Not one of them,
Now-
all of them.
Imagine if they went bum for
The
bum.
headless detective, all of them.
So
like Tyrone Biggins versus.
Bum fights. Bum fights.
So sketch-wise,
Sketch-wise.
you got Damon.
I do have Damon as a sketch-wise. But
Stand-up-wise,
you gotta
you got-
remember that as far as sketch-wise, you're not just talking about Damon Wayans, you're talking about the entire Wayans family.
That's not. You can't bring
Which
them
is-
in.
You can't come.
You
I
can
mean,
because
bring them
Keenan
in.
is the producer. Sean is on the show. Marlon Dancing on one of them niggas S1.
But I think we already in the
It's a lot
conversation
of-
outside we established this. Either you're going to do Chappelle show
So
as a show versus Living Color as a show,
Right.
Or you're going to do Damon Wayans versus Chappelle. Which if you do that, then you have to do their characters.
Their characters.
Yeah.
Right.
Right, but Damon, I mean, that's really not fair as Chappelle
Damon
had-
didn't call out the show.
Chappelle
He
had
called out Chappelle.
I mean, we don't know the context in what he said.
You can see the quote. He didn't say, "Yo, my show. I put in Living Color up against the Chappelle show." He said, "No, Damon Wayans, like I would
Right.
I would challenge
I've
Dave
heard-
Chappelle
Cat,
to a
I've heard a
versus."
lot of people say that, and I'm gonna say this hands down. I ran around. I've seen a lot of comedy. I live a lot of comedy. Dave is a motherfucking go to this right now. Y'all is none of y'all gonna take from him.
Right.
Y'all can, y'all can try, and I'm
Right.
gonna wish y'all the best. I'm gonna clap in the crowd and everything when you funny.
Hey, I got Dave, man.
Dave-
Either
Dave
way, I
got-
got Dave. I don't
It's
know.
a body. I see Dave is taking me as a nigga. I don't watch comedy to go ha ha ha. I be watching like that was really good. That shit fire. Premise, setup, punchline. Dave is taking me down the rabbit hole at the end. I'm like, this nigga got me too in this motherfucker.
Oh yeah, the nigga.
Right.
That nigga will listen.
He's smart.
Hands down,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
giving it to Chappelle. And I've watched, it's not a lot of comedians that can do what Dave does on the level that he does it with his consistency. None of them. It's not none of them. None of them. I love Cat. And I don't care who beefing with who. I watch more with the same love of comedy in my heart.
But what's the possibility of using the verses for comedy?
You would have, I mean,
I think it could be done, but I think it doesn't need to be the verses. It needs to be something else that's based on the verses and inspired by the verses.
But I think when people see that V and that S
it's time.
and two names, it heightens that whole situation 1,000-fold. Because now it's like, pick a side.
Right.
This is gonna be competitive. Who's gonna, it just has so much, it draws so much more interest on it. And I love it, again, because every time a rapper does a versus, it just brings them closer to battle rap. And I love that shit, bro.
Yeah.
I can't wait for you to do one.
Yeah.
If it is common, I
That's
think
my
that
vote.
would be
That's
incredible.
I thought you was talking about stand on the main stage. I mean, yo, let's aim for the. I want to see Quad versus
Is that
somebody.
something you would ever do?
I wouldn't be opposed to it.
Sit down. Sit in the chair, sir.
Hold
Don't when you go.
on!
Go back over here. Don't
Hold
get no
on.
more.
Wait. Are you talking
Hold
about?
on.
Hold on. You talking about verses?
Hold
battle?
on!
Battle rap.
Oh,
We're
wait,
talking
no,
about battle
no,
rap.
no, no, battle rap.
That's not.
Yeah.
Hold on. That's not. Hold on. That's not. You know what's supernatural.
I knew you misheard it.
You
I knew
battle
you misheard it.
Nah, no.
It was almost there. We gonna get there.
I got it.
We gonna get almost there. I think the excitement made him draw back. Like,
You
wait a
didn't
minute.
start out in Washington Square
I know
Park.
what he's talking
Going
about.
head to head.
No, let's talk about it.
Here we go.
Okay,
Here
let's
we
talk
go.
about
Let's talk about it. Yeah.
As far as what battle rap was
Then,
in Washington Square Park,
Right.
I love Harlem.
Yeah.
like I told you.
Gotta love it.
What battle rap has become.
Right.
The type of battle rap I was doing in Washington Square Park, it was largely friendly. That malice you're talking about wasn't none of that.
Wasn't none of that.
Wasn't none of that. And it was competitive. There was stars in the scene, but we were all in it together.
Right.
And it was like we were challenging each other to get better.
Right.
You know, and I attribute my time in Washington Square Park with Supernatural and La Quantum Leap.
Right.
And Jean Grey and you know what I'm saying, and all these people
Legends.
to who I am as an MC. Me being in that stew, that creative stew, pushed me. But as far as where it went,
As competition.
Wait, no.
would.
I've never had to battle.
I'm gonna ask
in my
Matt-
career. I've never had to battle on a level of where of like, no, it might be a
Matt.
problem or be an issue or
Wait.
I gotta research a nigga. None of that type of
Wait,
shit.
hold on, Matt. Does it have to be hostile to be a battle rapper?
No.
Can he go around
no,
Talib
it
Kweli
doesn't.
and bar him to
No,
death?
it doesn't.
No.
Well,
no.
there's actually a battle coming up between Saigon and Vado.
And Vado, right? I heard this.
And from my understanding, it's more of a 16 for 16.
Lyricists.
But I want people to be very clear.
It's not battle.
The same thing that you was doing in that park. The first person who had malice, or you showed up with a little bit of malice, took that battle.
I understand.
So for even this Saigon Vado situation, should somebody decide, oh no, I'm about to get personal, it's gonna be a landslide.
I understand what you're saying. Right. And so, yeah, so for me, I've never been in a space where hip hop doesn't bother me. Like you could not like me as a rapper. I don't give a fuck. You could think I'm whack. I don't care. If I ever had a problem with a rapper, it was because of a social justice issue, or you talked about my family or something like that. Never because you don't like my raps.
Personal, not artistic.
Right. Yeah, I don't care about that shit.
Right.
We gonna get him in this ring, y'all. That's all we got. Matter of fact, comedians versus battle rappers is we're gonna do first.
Are we still talking about this?
Legends versus legends. We're gonna do that too.
Jay Farrell actually, he wanted to do that.
Jay Farrell said he wouldn't
wants-
have
I think if to your question, listen, I'm very confident in my skill level. I know I could at least be competitive, whether in the battle rap space, whether or not I win over somebody who's tried and tested.
Cassidy, would you?
I know I could be competitive.
Right.
I thought you were gonna say, I know I can kill that nigga.
Because it sounded like,
That's all I heard in my head right now.
Once he
He's
said,
like that, I know I could beat this nigga.
That's what it sounded like. I know I could beat
That's all I heard.
We're gonna
That's
cut
all I
it.
heard.
We're gonna cut it. No,
I know what it sounds like to y'all.
For the promo,
That's all I heard.
cut it on. I know I
I
could
could
beat
beat
Nah,
Jay
the
Farrell.
gunshot. The gunshot right there.
I know, but this is a
Perfect.
caveat. I know I could be competitive if I put in the time.
Bomb.
Right.
Right.
If I know my skill level, I know where I'm at with the pen. If my focus and time was
Getting one of you niggas out of here.
I need to focus on
Zone in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
You
know
got
I
a
can
couple
do that.
months
So,
to go
I
over
would need,
it.
I would need that because I'm not.
Right,
It's
right.
a muscle.
All that
I would
means
not
is
step into that ring and not
That's
be-
disrespectful.
Smack,
That'd be
smack.
disrespectful.
We have a policy at Javoti Media. It's called CTC. Cut the check, nigga.
Cut the check. Cut the check.
Nah, yeah.
But I definitely think that, you know, that type of energy has been like just bringing everything back,
Busy.
raising
Busy
awareness.
B, Kumo D. It started there. Let's keep it real.
It's kids that was just aware of trap music, that's researching the locks and Dipset and
Yep, that's
all
right.
these. You know what I
Never
mean?
seen nothing like that.
You know
Right.
what? Give
No,
me-
wait.
Not
Y'all
only
never
that,
heard about
but-
the Versus effect?
The streams
Yeah,
go up.
200%.
Yeah.
200. Yeah.
everything.
The Versus effect is 200%.
You know why I give
any
credit?
artist that
Yeah,
they
Jada
ever
Kiss.
touched.
You know
I
who
heard
gets the
about that.
credit for that for me? Like as far as versus was concerned,
Battle rap.
Nah,
He did.
Luda versus Nelly.
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 Luda versus Nelly. You had a
That was
dude
kind of
who's-
nasty.
You had a dude who sold diamond.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was
I mean,
nasty.
yeah, because
That
of
was
how it
nasty
played
work.
out.
That was nasty work.
Wait, both of them sold diamond.
No.
No.
Luda,
Luda never went diamond?
No,
Luda's going
no,
extremely platinum, but he's
never
never
went-
going diamond.
Right.
What, his collection of work altogether. He said
I mean, yeah,
that's
but we
not
talking
diamond.
about
One album.
It's one album.
Right.
yeah,
One album.
Nelly
Right.
did it with one album.
Nelly went with Diamond.
Nelly on my
Nelly
Prisoner-
went one song with
I
diamond.
had Nelly on my Prisoner of Conscience album. Nelly said, he said, for you to have sold more records than me in the 2000s, you had to have blonde hair and blue eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's a
Only
fact.
dudes moving units, M Pimp, Juice, and us.
That's it.
And then he went up against Luda, who is a lyricist, an MC, a performer, and he got scraped.
No, but who was also waiting for this opportunity?
Because he know- but
for
What made
a decade.
Okay, I be trying to
For a
understand this.
Nelly,
right?
the
decade.
Nelly Luda battle looked right on paper because of the issues and because of all
the
this
numbers,
stuff.
Right.
et cetera, et cetera.
But
I never.
when I watched it, they were in two different planes, and I didn't understand the difference. I was like, wow, this is really different music. Where Nelly was at with it was completely
different.
than where Ludacris was at with it.
Right.
I think for me, it's the Beanie Man.
Beanie, yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah, that was it. right
That
there.
was the showman side.
And let me say this as a Brooklyn nigga. Reggae niggas put on, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
They
that
killed
was great. That was
Right,
great.
I had
when
with
the
that.
cops showed up.
Yeah, that was
Bounty,
classic.
Bounty.
But Beanie was the diplomat, and it was like this shit was.
Do you
Beanie
really
brought
want to
the
be
cop
this
on,
guy?
nigga said,
You
yo,
want to be
if
this
you
guy?
ain't sure, yeah.
We got the whole world
World
watching. You
watching
want to be
That
us?
to me was the essence. And when you say when you quick to say battle rap, I respect you because that's you representing for you. But it's fucking reggae shit. It's
Yeah.
Well,
It
that's what
clashes.
battle
That-
rap.
My older brother would tell me
It
that
sounds
all day.
bad.
He'd be like, look,
Battle rap is
look, I love
Because
battle
when I
rap
saw
because
that-
it remind me of a reggae
Right,
clash.
it's
And that's what they do.
Right, battle rap is
no,
sunshine.
Right.
Where I was going with it was when you start talking about it coming back as far as like lyricism is concerned and the Jada Kiss, what Jada Kiss is doing right now. I think that wave started when Nelly got avalanched by Luda. And then you fast forward through a couple of the other ones, which were R&B, and then we just a reggae, some more R&B. But whenever it's a rap type joint, you
It
got
goes to-
Jada into Fab.
It goes to the
and then
hood.
It
Jada
goes
doing.
Let me
to
tell
the
you why.
hood.
Let me tell you why. Here's what happens, right?
Yeah.
And I hate to say it like this. The people that are selling the most units, I think what is it? 65% of all records are sold to suburbs.
A lot more than that.
More than that.
A lot
right?
more
Yeah.
60.
Right.
More like
so when you go that
90
when
something.
That's what I say,
you're that
85,
big,
90.
that means that your fan base isn't technically what you think. The hood need to support you. Now you go on Versus. This is just Instagram, and now you're being judged by your peers. And Jada took full advantage of that twice.
Yeah.
Twice. Jada right now putting the Thanos ring, the glove together with these
I watched
artists.
I watched that versus after it already, after
Yeah?
all the memes and
Oh
everything
my
came
God,
out.
no, not the
I didn't
memes.
watch, I was,
Yeah, I was on the spot.
So knowing the outcome of it, and then watching it from the beginning when he was just standing there like this.
Right.
In the beginning, I was like, oh, this is...
He's about to be ugly.
This nigga knew. This nigga saw the future.
I'm telling you.
This nigga saw the future.
Yeah, he knew.
Yeah.
Let me
He
tell
saw
you
the
the
future.
realest line of that whole verses. They was like, yo, Jada, why you don't let everybody else rhyme? It's just you. Jada said,
Transmission shit.
I'm the transmission, right?
He understood the
And
mission.
then, right, he understood
Yeah.
the mission.
He
And then
understood the
every time-
transmission.
Wait, and then here's
The
where,
best thing was, why are y'all rapping over
over your song.
No, yeah, when he said they was doing
Hold on.
karaoke.
That was the setup. But here's where we was talking about earlier. Having a tour DJ really matters, right?
Oh yeah.
Having a tour
Yeah.
DJ in that set really matters.
These niggas ain't got
Because-
no records for girls.
Bomb.
I wanna
And then
ride
he kills
or die,
her.
bitch.
And at the end of it, he was talking about, you don't got nothing, talking about sheep. The nigga just started throwing on sheep joints to just punch him in the face. Without even asking.
And that is the
They
equivalent.
never spoke to him.
That's the equivalent of having a great rebuttal in battle.
Right.
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 Being able to think on the fly
Right.
and throw
Which
it
means,
off the head.
boom, which
Right
technically
right
means
back
that
at you.
Dipset wasn't battling the locks. They battling the locks and Tech because Tech was killing them.
You gotta have a good tour DJ.
Tech was.
Shout out to Spin Elect.
So
Shout out to Spin.
So in your versus Common,
When we see this.
when we see this,
Not if.
It's gonna
when.
happen.
Yeah.
If you see me do a versus, it's definitely because I got something to promote.
come on, you telling me
That's fair,
that
right?
there's
Don't
no
bother me.
competitive.
Our resident industry guy. That's cool.
He's like, he said, he wanted to shake his head. No, he said, yeah, I guess.
So you're telling me that there's no part of you that's like, you know what? You know when that changes? When you agree to do the verses and you start seeing people say,
No.
who's gonna win?
If I agree to do the verses, I'm coming to do the verses.
Oh, we've at war.
And and it's like, me, if I do a verse with someone like a Common, who I'm not gonna be, we might not be as chippy as these guys,
Right.
But it's gonna be our version of that. You
It
know
won't
what I'm
be red and
like
black.
when
It might, yeah.
Styles, I don't remember if it was on Versus or at a juice bar, man, but he told a story. He was like, when he said, when I met Jimmy, the way he talks about him, when I met Killer, he know this nigga. When I met Capital, the way he using these names.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He's like, when I met him, I was on the run. I don't remember where I saw him tell the stories. I met these niggas on the run. I had a problem. They made sure I was good. So when you know these niggas like that,
Right. It's all
when you know
fun
these
games.
niggas like that,
Yeah.
and then I see them talking to each other, and they taking off each other's bandanas and all that fly shit. Oh, these niggas really know each other.
Right, this family.
This is not.
This is fun for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is hood shit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they
it's
just
like battling nigga you really good. You know what I'm saying? Like
And
if you
so,
core,
if you see somebody like me, if we see something like that, then it's going to be that. It's going because Common is a competitive dude. If you saw him on the Ebro shit, even the way he said it, he said, "Ebro, you left me off that list." You know what I'm saying? He Common think like that too. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
What do you mean the one that Joe Budden was the top of?
Relax.
You never seen this list? They had to put out a top 50 hip hop list.
Listen, you just
Fuck,
relax.
That was hilarious. And Joe Budden put his.
You was on this list, right?
I was on that list.
What
The
number?
vibe list? You talking about the vibe list?
Yeah. Was there anybody ahead of you that you was like, what?
I think I was in the 30s on that list.
And I had a problem with that too.
I think I was in the 30s. It was top
Let me tell you
50,
what
I
my
was in the
problem was
30s.
with that list. Here's my problem with that list.
Top lyricist?
There was no women on it.
Top rappers, something like that.
Top rapper.
Vibe.
I felt bad
It was
they-
when Vibe as a magazine was still a thing that people cared about.
Oh.
I had a problem.
I find like the controversy around those
They
lists.
just never listen.
That's what they're really gunning for.
There was more female MCs that could have killed mad of them niggas on that list. That I felt like that list was wild sexist.
I don't. You gotta consider who's putting these lists together. Like who?
A bunch of niggas that don't spit.
Yo,
I
But
don't
let me
even.
tell you something. A terrible list gets more.
List.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Complex did a list. They did the top 30 reasons why conscious rap is condescending and corny, right? And then for the
Top
picture,
30.
30
They had
reasons.
30
reasons
reasons.
why conscious music
Was the
is
picture?
condescending. The picture was me like this.
Violation.
I was so upset by this shit.
Violation.
Because here's why I was upset by it.
Uh-huh.
A lot of the reasons that they said conscious music is condescending and corny were correct. But none of them had to do with me or my music. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, how I'm the face of this list? You know what I'm saying? Like, and first of all, y'all niggas should not be making a list like this. There's a lot of things you can make. Like, you're making a list like this to prove how street you are.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? To prove how, like, and it's like,
And
y'all
trying to
niggas-
appeal to.
Y'all niggas is taking shots at conscious artists because y'all not brave enough to be conscious.
I mean, technically, the nigga who wrote the list, I'd probably take his
No, but
hat and his sneakers.
I said something about it, you know, on social media, and they contacted me, and I don't really fuck with Complex like that, really, to be honest with you. But to their credit, they did contact me, and we did an interview where I was able to express how I felt about it. And to that writer's, I don't remember the writer's name, but to the writer's credit, obviously the writer is a writer, he's not the machine.
Right.
But to the writer's credit, I felt like he came correct after I challenged him on what he wrote. And I feel like he accepted my challenge. I feel like I made some valuable points. And I think, but it goes to that point about these lists to try to create the controversy. And we, as conscious artists, we often the punching bags for this shit. You know, all this, like, you talk about niggas be like Nas don't know how to choose beats. Niggas say that because they scared of Nas, my nigga. Because Nas, his first album's Illmatic. How you gonna tell me the nigga who made Illmatic don't know how to choose beats? He the one who chose the beats.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's because what he do is so intimidating to people they find a reason to try to dismantle him. When you think about, maybe you didn't like the second album, maybe people felt like the second album was leaned a little bit too pop, but when you talk about Major Look or certain shit he did with Salaam Remi, or you talk about the Nigga album or the Lost Tapes album or certain shit, like, you can't say this man don't know how to pick beats.
Right.
How could with the shit he's done with Large Professor alone? You can't say this man don't know how to pick beats. Y'all just, maybe his output is too much. Maybe you wish he would have slowed down. Maybe you don't like every song. Right. But come on, that's just a stupid thing to say.
I interviewed him. He had an honest enough answer when I asked
What'd he
him.
say?
He said, first thing he said was, I get offered like the illest beats ever. Like I get all the CDs, I get all the beats. He was like, for me, what I'm trying to say, I don't need the beat to be overshadowing it, even competing with it. Like I want
That's
you
fair.
to pay attention to what I'm trying. He was like, and this is the thing. I was ready to call bullshit. I'm not even gonna hold you. I was ready to call bullshit. And he said, I always make it a point to give you one. He was like, I know what niggas want to hear. I always give you at least that one. There's always the joint on there that I know niggas is gonna. He was like, but that. By and large, my goal is to, I got something I'm trying to say, I got something I'm trying to get out. It's not about the beat. The beat need to be a little down here so I can do what I'm doing up here, but I always give you one. And he started rattling them shits off. It made you look, this one, that one. Like, got yourself a gun. Like, he just started rattling. I was like,
that's what I'm saying. He know it. He don't work with.
He was like, I always give you one. I always make it a point to throw it in there, but that's not my goal. That's not what I'm trying to do.
I respect that as an artist, because as an artist, you're supposed to grow. You're not trying to make your last album. You're not trying to follow what they love this song. I'm trying to remake that song.
Right.
Yeah, as an artist, you're trying to grow. So but most artists don't even give you one.
Nah, but I went in there to call bullshit. I'm not gonna hold you.
Quick question. Who does Nas do a versus with?
Hov.
Jay?
It's only,
is there really any other answer?
Right. I mean, the only other person he could do an album with, the two niggas is dead. Who's the best rappers? Biggie, Jay-Z, and Nas. Nigga, so that the list is very short. I mean, I love Slim.
That needs to be the last verse.
But Slim ain't gonna be it.
The last verse.
That needs to be the last verse.
Why the last?
You need to retire it after that.
Why?
Because I don't think you'll do it better.
Better than Hov.
I mean, there's a lot of people coming up.
I don't think you should.
For us, it's Jay-Z and Nas.
Well, no, it's not even.
For another generation,
to get the verses.
It's Kendrick and J. Cole.
Okay, but
for another generation, you know what I'm saying?
Then you gotta shut it down for like another 5-6 years and then kick
Yeah,
in
because like
after
I said,
that.
they gotta have a catalog.
That's just one reason.
I'll tell you one thing.
That's just one reason.
What? Illmatic.
You said Illmatic with
he said Nas and J. Cole. I was like, nah, that's not.
Illmatic. Listen, the only thing that's fucking with Illmatic is Hov first album. Is Reasonable Doubt. That's it. That's the only joints that you can line up like that. What you got? And Big first album.
I agree. I don't think, not just because of the story and the drama, but just because of what they represent. Like, there's only one that for Jay-Z. Who could Jay-Z go against besides Nas? Who could Nas go against besides Jay-Z?
Where it even looks like it makes sense.
That even looks. I mean, because Nas is gonna kill anybody else. I don't care what anybody say about you.
Who
ain't like
wins?
This. Huh?
Who wins?
The culture.
Bob. Save it. Thank you.
I'm trying to hit it. I'm trying to hit it.
I was on it.
I'm not trying to hit it.
I was on it.
I'm not trying to hit it.
Who wins?
I need to know.
Everybody knows.
Personally, ahead of time, who you got. Because look, there's been so many situations that we thought it was gonna go a certain way. But people heard Nelly and Ludacris, they was like, oh no, Nelly got the hits. And then boom,
you're
like,
I knew Luda was gonna scrape him. Yeah, that wasn't even fair.
It's flipped so many times.
The only one I couldn't call, like
honestly,
I said,
I'm shocked because I love Nelly and I love Luda and I'm friends with both of them. And for me, I never spent this much time thinking about who won that one, but y'all have all developed an opinion. I didn't realize this was the scuttlebutt on the street.
Yeah, no,
I watch all of them on Win or Lose.
Right, okay,
Well, no, I'm not going to say that. They weren't on Win or Lose.
No, I've watched all of them on Win or Lose.
Who was it? It was Patty versus Aretha?
No. Patty versus Gladys.
Right. Now look me in my face and tell me that we ain't all win. What? You disrespectful. My mama will whoop your ass.
I didn't watch that.
My mama learned how to use Instagram for that.
Who wins? Who wins?
I don't know.
Patty
I don't
LaBelle.
think we know that. I don't think we can know that answer.
I know
think
that
that's-
answer.
I think that's why it's such. People
from
have-
Brooklyn.
Talk about Jay and
People
Nas.
could
I
have.
know, I'm from
People
Brooklyn.
could have their subjective opinions.
I'm listening.
But the facts of versus is not based on who's better necessarily.
All right.
It's based on selection, DJ, presentation, energy. It's based on a lot of things.
And you've
so
seen
at
both
any
these
given-
guys perform.
I have, and
Both.
it's not. But it's not even based. Versus is not at all based on how you perform. It's not. It's based. It's mostly based on selection. If you select the right joints after his joints, if he hits you with this one and your answer is right, it don't even have to be a better record. It's just the timing of it. Both of their catalogs is so dense and so meaty.
So many places they can
that
pull
there's so
from.
many. You know what I'm saying? Like it. That's why it's such an interesting question because this is a real challenge. You don't know who can win that one. It depends on the night.
You know what? Jada might have
Yeah.
an answer. It all depends on the mixtape verse. That
On the-
verse, not
on
your
the
album
mixtape
joint.
verse.
Right, not that joint that everybody know.
Freestyles.
This joint. Right,
If-
this
if-
one, this one.
If Nas show
Like,
up with
like
lost
Hov
tapes,
on Who Shot You?
Right.
if Nas show up with lost
But
tapes,
if Nas show up with lost tapes and plays one of those lost tapes ones after the wrong Jay-Z song,
Right.
it's not, that's what
It's
I'm
not
saying.
gonna hit.
no.
It's a
I'm
series of
not
factors.
Now-
picking.
now-
I'm
now
not
here's
picking
the
a winner.
question.
I'm
Do
not
they-
picking a winner.
Do they perform
I'm from Brooklyn. Jay.
Ether, Takeover?
They got to.
Well, technically, let me have this argument with people because I keep telling people
The real question is,
it's
does
not
he do
Ether
Super
versus
Ugly?
Take. Oh, it is Ether.
That's the real question.
Nah, I don't think we do that. I don't think we doing that. I don't think we doing that.
They wouldn't do
Look,
that. I don't
Super
think-
Ugly was such a. It was a Brooklyn move. It was a Brooklyn move.
Well, let me ask you a
Like,
question.
okay,
It's grimy.
alright. Yeah, it's grimy.
What do you mean it's grimy?
Super grimy.
It's grimy.
Super Ugly. The Super
That's
Ugly
the name
freestyle.
of the song. He
Right,
wasn't-
no, I know, but I
was-
mean,
he
what
wasn't
do y'all
lying.
mean grimy? That shit.
Jay might.
That was
Jay
gutter.
might.
Where you
That
find
was
where you
Brooklyn.
find grime at?
That's Brooklyn.
Good, right? No, yeah. You gotta think about people like they hug the block, not like street gum. You gotta be like street gum.
I can't
Super
stop.
ugly,
I can't stop
street
thinking of this
gum.
now. Jay might win,
Jay gonna win. All right.
and I'm gonna tell you how. I'm gonna tell you where the advantage. And I'm gonna nickname it the Jadakiss factor. Jay has a very dry sense of humor. He's very quick and he's funny.
Oh, he'll kill you.
It's a
And
lot of
Nas-
speculation.
Nas is very laid back and not so much that kind of a showman. And I think personality-wise, the same way that Jada was able to talk himself, or not talk himself into a win, because that's disrespectful, but the same way his talk became a factor in both of his battles against Fab
No,
and
I've
against
seen
the Locks,
I've seen both. I've toured with Nas.
against Dipset.
I've toured with Nas and opened for him, and I've seen. I'm a patron of the Jay-Z concert. Jay-Z's in town, I'm in town. I'm going.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I've seen both of them perform numerous times. They both have their things that I like about them performing. They both have their things they don't like. I feel like it's a fairly equal.
I'm just saying, put it in the versus format. Look at what Jada was able to do, even with the setups, even with the calling little things out
I
here
feel like
and there.
both Jay and Nas both got that in them.
You think?
Okay, I'm gonna
Yeah,
tell you.
absolutely,
I'm gonna
without
tell
a
you
doubt.
why Jay is gonna win.
I think so.
Without a doubt.
I think
See,
so.
Like seriously,
I definitely think
seeing
so.
Nas do a Rock the Bells or seeing Nas
Right.
do like the Illmatic anniversary tour where he had Pete Rock and Premier DJing for him. Like if Nas do verses, he gonna bring Pete Rock and Premier to DJ for him. You know what I'm saying? Like it's going like Nas.
That's the-
There
yeah.
used to-
I'm not
there was
sure
a-
about
there
that
was-
part.
There was a time.
Wow.
There was a time when people said Nas couldn't perform.
Yeah.
There was a time when people said Nas is timid on stage and passive on
they
stage.
said that about Jay too, though.
They did say
Yeah,
that about
yeah,
Jay.
yeah.
They both grew out of that. Both of them are stadium.
No, hold
level
up.
performers.
Right,
Nas,
no, that's what I'm gonna say.
Nas brings out Primo. Nas brings out Pete Rock to DJ for him. Then Jay brings out Kanye
Blaze,
and Just Blaze to DJ for him.
We
Well,
need to, we setting it up right now. We setting it up right
We
now.
setting it up right
I'm
now.
gonna tell you why.
Remember where you heard it first. This is the order. This is how it's going down.
Okay,
Okay?
listen.
Guru and Salam Remy just
here's
back and
Here's
forth.
why I'm gonna say it's gonna be tough.
Fire.
I went to a Nas show. I went to Jay shows before, right? Jay at the level he's at right now, and now that they're doing them in stadiums and arenas and things like that, Jay don't even perform no more. Y'all be performing. Jay be standing on stage like this. Yes.
Yeah, I went to see Jay-Z on tour with Beyonce.
I was that nigga rocked.
Listen,
Oh God. I can
Beyonce
only
was out
imagine.
there sweating. dances, this whole type of shit. Pew, 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 pew. Jay-Z
Yeah.
just walked out on stage.
I ain't gonna lie, I saw him in Miami.
Just walked out on stage, and the hits just kept
They're
coming.
coming right.
Nah.
Right, he was still
You got
like
this.
that.
You got this.
Right, he's right. Yes,
You got this.
Now I've seen. Now let me tell you.
Yeah.
I was at Nas at the last Rock the Bells when he did it on Governor's Island over here. When I tell you Nas is a consummate performer.
Nas, yeah.
That
Nas,
nigga had Queensbridge on the stage, not just the people.
You was talking about the
The
Queensbridge
whole-
set.
The
The
whole
Queensbridge
set.
set.
Right.
Like the whole set.
Ill, yeah.
And Nas body. He fucking body. So it all
Nas,
depends on what kind-
when you get Nas to put on that fucking army surplus suit.
Oh, you on.
When Nas
Oh.
come out with the army surplus suit.
It's a night.
Yeah, that's different.
Yeah, it's night.
It's
It's a
different.
night. It's a night.
See, but we're not
It's
talking
different.
about who's whack compared to who. We're literally talking about who would edge out this one
I don't
specific
know.
Well,
night.
no, like I said, he'll tell you, this man right here tell you, the energy in the room sometimes win you the battle. Even if on
Yeah, I
the
don't
tape,
know, man.
That's when Jay's
on the tape,
personality
you listen
starts
to it
kicking
back, you be like,
Look,
oh,
man.
but sometimes the
I
energy
was
in the room.
I was in the room for Old Dirty Bastard challenging the Roots to a battle.
Dirty.
What?
On
Dirty
stage.
wins.
You know what I'm saying? I was in the room for Supernatural versus Craig G.
That was a
Wow.
moment.
I was in the room for that.
Wow.
And Supernatural is one of my best friends. It's my OG. That's what taught me this whole shit.
Right.
I have the tape. I used to have the VHS of that shit. Back in the day, I used to watch this shit over and over. Supernatural.
You don't know what's
Craig
that
G.
now?
I don't know where's that. It's probably in my parents'.
I'm about to say it's in my mom's crib.
Yeah.
It's like my shit. I know all my shit.
When I listen, and all due respect to Craig G, when I listened to it, Nat was blindsided. He didn't know he was going to battle. Craig G showed up ready to battle. Craig G had punchlines against Nat.
Personals.
Yeah. When you listen to it, Nat's freestyle is, in my opinion,
Better.
superior.
But
It
the
didn't
energy in the
matter.
room.
Didn't matter.
In the room.
The energy in the room. Puff Daddy had the bad boy signs, and Craig G had the momentum in the room. Puff started talking about Craig G. Puff was the hottest nigga in the city at the time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It changed the momentum of the room. You know what I'm saying? I've seen this shit happen. It's like, that's why in that room, we won't know into the room.
Right.
And like I said, in my opinion, Hov controls the room a lot better.
I don't know about that.
Hov is Hitman stopping the crowd and going, that's how you control the crowd kind of shit.
He's master level. He's master level.
He's very
Yes.
master level with
Yeah.
it.
They both master
But we
level.
not
Listen,
talking
man,
about
I got
another
roster
amateur.
Hove any day.
Yeah.
I got roster Hove. The
yeah,
roster
Rasta
Hove.
Hove. Basquiat Hove.
I'm with you.
Listen,
Basquiat Hove.
all I can say is
all
like,
that.
Hov, listen,
Basquiat Hove.
I'm
Word.
talking about Nostradamus Hoves. I'm still in a rock.
If he comes on stage with the Caesar,
Listen,
Oh, God.
sober. Sober.
God.
It's sober.
You think he gonna cut his hair for the verses?
If he comes out with the Caesar and the Yankee,
yeah.
New Blue Yankee on Who But Me, it's over, bro.
right,
It's over.
yo.
All right, in other news, Cassidy.
That was a great segue.
All right, and stop.
Cassidy continues to diss Tory Lanez.
I didn't know that was a thing, but
Yeah,
continue.
That's
he
actually a
got, he got
thing.
another one out.
Cassidy.
He had a record. He has disc records.
Yes.
Two of
Versus Tory Lanez. Tory Lanez
Okay.
has admitted. he has admitted to stealing people's bars.
This is actual.
Did he
fact?
say he was stealing flows or bars?
He's
actual
stealing
fact?
Yes.
bars.
I'm gonna have to pull this
I
up. We're
know
gonna have to
this
Google this one.
because he stole bars from me.
All right, but see, now
I
you,
know
now
this.
you got a dog
Now
in
it's
this
the
fight.
first
I know it's
thing.
real.
You got a dog in this fight. So
I
I
know
gotta
this
do
is real. No,
You got a dog in this fight
No,
now,
no,
so I
because
don't know,
I'm still not
I
really
gotta-
saying Cassidy's not really smoking Tory Lanez. His reply was actually kind of crazy. Tory Lanez reply.
Yeah.
I don't know about any of this.
Listen,
No, dude, this
he stops
been
in the
moving.
middle of the record and says, "I steal a nigga flow and what?"
Oh, so he said that in a song.
Yup.
Oh well, he's performing.
Flow.
I've stolen niggas flow too.
I
know.
have bars.
I do it all the
I
time.
don't think it's an MC
I
that
battled
was stolen
Queens
before.
Flip.
No, but this started
Hold on.
because they had it was acknowledged out
Right.
on the table. Cassidy was like,
Cassidy
yo,
was like, "These are my rhymes. You took my rhymes. Here's the freestyle. Here's your freestyle.
and Tory
you
goes,
took my shit
I
word
look
for
up
word."
to you. I grew up listening to your shit. Like,
And he's
so
like,
of
"I
course
don't care. When you was rapping my shit, you didn't tell nobody that.
Right.
You just rapped my shit.
Right.
And I feel the same way. Because he rapped my shit. I swear to God, bro.
You know what? I think I did a couple years ago see a comparison video of Tory Lanez rapping and then somebody else. Was it
They
Cassie?
did a video?
Like
Somebody put a video
I don't
together?
know if it
I don't
wasn't
remember.
me.
I don't remember the white girl that
But
stole that
apparently
nigga shit.
he confessed and
She
said,
quit.
She quit.
We done ran her out
No,
the
talking
business.
about, yo.
Iggy Azalea.
Iggy Azalea.
We done ran her up
Yo,
out of here.
my
Get
God.
out of here.
That was the worst shit. I looked at
She
the
tried to
video.
come for me too. Get out of here.
She
with
tried to
that.
come for me?
Yeah, I remember
no.
that shit. She's talking about all these old men talking about blah, blah, blah. And he was trying to like walk her through basically.
No,
like,
I wasn't.
No, he wasn't.
Q-tip like that. No, Q-tip.
I
That
was
was
like,
Q-tip.
fuck Iggy Azalea.
Right,
that was
that nigga came for violence.
That was
Like,
Q-tip.
I didn't come for violence. You
Before
gonna
we
give me
get to
cancer
that,
here.
before
No
we get to
violence.
that,
No violence.
before we get to that, how do you feel about Tory Lanez admittance that he's taking bars from people?
I don't really spend a lot of time thinking about Tory Lanez. That's why I had to Google.
I was about to
sitting
say,
there
I
looking at my phone. I already gave up.
Okay. How do you feel about the action itself? Jesus Christ.
All right, so let me ask you a question.
Skip past the
Here's what I'm
person.
gonna say,
Because
right?
there's a transition that I want to get
Here's
to
what I'm
also.
gonna say, right?
Right.
I blame all of this shit right now on Snoop Dogg.
Why?
How?
Snoop
Because
Dogg,
Lottie Dottie?
Lottie Dottie. Was
No,
the first time
no,
a nigga took a nigga
no,
whole shit around.
no.
And he did it in homage. I respect
No.
that. But after that, he became very well accepted.
Okay, so
It
listen,
became
listen,
very
listen.
well
Listen,
accepted.
You
listen, this is what I'm
totally
saying.
separate things
We are
between.
all pulling from a certain well.
Right.
The reason why I get respected as an MC is because I'm able to pull from a different well.
Right.
I don't have to rap about my jewelry, my guns, my violence. I don't do that. A lot of niggas is rapping and pulling from the same well. So it's absolutely possible that you've thought of words in the same configuration as another rapper.
No.
Yeah, what about the same
hold on.
comma,
I want to be
period,
clear on this.
exclamation
I
point?
want to be clear on this. I battled Queen Split. I had a Tory Lanez bar at the end of it. Stop running up on me trying to play these corny games because I smoke Queens, Tory Lanez.
Right.
But before that, I had a bar about you buying someone a 50-inch television and can't slide half an inch in it. Tory Lanez released a freestyle.
About to say
Said
the
you
same
could
one.
buy her a 50-inch television and can't slide half an inch in it. I said, wait a minute. Nah, this ain't right. And then it
Like
kept
TV,
happening
but
with
can't
other
slide it.
rappers.
I think so.
Cassidy,
He's like,
yo, these are my words for word. You took my shit. You didn't pay homage because homage would be like acknowledging it. It's different. Jay-Z will take something we all know is Biggs. We all know it. It's a familiar lyric.
I can't
But he'll
weigh in
announce
on this
it.
conversation because for me to weigh in on it, I would need to actually hear your bar and the way you delivered it, and then hear the way, and then I would
It's
have to
the
make a
same.
judgment
It's
based
the same,
on.
bro.
I mean, I know
Okay,
you-
so
It's the same, bro.
assuming it's the same.
bro. It's the same.
Assuming no. Assuming
You're
it's
saying
the
it's
same.
He's taking bars from Math, Cassidy, piecing it together.
And doing freestyles.
Okay.
and you're feeling like he's and what we're saying here is that he's feeling like he can get away with this because his audience is not tapped into where
Right.
the bars is coming
Right.
They don't know.
It's like
They
my
don't know.
uncle when I was young. Nigga used to be the nicest rhymer.
Yeah, I don't know. I
Then I
get
got
it.
older and realized he
I
stole
love and
everybody's
respect
shit.
y'all,
That's
but
like-
again, I would, for the sake of this conversation, I'd have to hear it for myself.
Okay.
Okay, but wait. Can we, because I don't know where he's transitioning to, but I want to get into the action itself. Not assuming everything Mav said is 100% correct. How do you
What
feel
he's
about
saying
the
is
action?
correct.
Right. How do you
Then
feel-
that's
I tell no
then that's
lies.
sneaky, and that's wrong. My brain, I'm solution oriented person. I jump to, well, what are you gonna do about it? Immediately.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Yo, what size is that? It's your size, nigga.
Like, okay, let's say he did that. Yeah, it's wrong. It's fucked up. What you gonna do about it?
All right, cool. Bet.
Me personally, I brand him a sucker and get him the fuck out of here. That's sucker shit. I don't condone sucker shit.
This is the new era.
I don't care. Stop. I don't give a fuck.
I don't care
I
either.
don't care.
Let me tell you,
I don't care.
I don't care either, but let me tell
Thank
you what I
you.
realized. I learned yesterday that these niggas out here, they consider the hardest nigga in the room to snitch. Yeah, I tell on these niggas. I do all this shit and
Yeah, shout
I
out
snitch
to
on y'all
Jeff
niggas.
Poe.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no. When I heard, I hate that I'm even about to bring
I don't
this
like
up.
this conversation either.
No.
But it's, I don't understand.
I hate that I'm about to bring this up. The second niggas tried to make having a ghostwriter be okay.
It is okay.
It's not 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 okay.
We should add some other
He's
words.
saying that because he like this. He like, yo, niggas is cutting me.
Yeah,
like, fuck up.
We should add some
It's
other
not
words.
okay.
I'm gonna say why it's okay because ghostwriting has been around since hip hop started.
I don't care.
For you,
You didn't
For
know.
you.
I'm-
No.
Right.
Even when I knew, the people, listen, when you are at
What is king? What is king? What is king? What is king when it comes to what we do? What is king?
creativity and originality.
Is king
Credibility.
Is king proving that you're an original, or is king making the jam?
No.
The jam is king.
No, you can.
The jam is, hold on. The jam.
Go ahead, because he asked me. I got
It's
it. Go
king.
ahead.
The jam is king. However you got to get there. However you got to get there.
You don't, but you
The jam
don't
is
see how fast you fucking fell for it. No, dog.
I didn't fall for it.
You
I'm
did. You said
thinking
the
about
jam
it
was
right
good.
now. I'm
That's
like,
why you should have let me. Dog.
go ahead.
As
Just
long
say
as,
what you need to say.
now I'm not with deception.
Right.
I'm not with deception. I'm with privacy, but I'm not with deception. If you look, as long as the person got paid, there's no deception.
Right.
If you stealing, I'm not with stealing.
No, he not.
But if you
Right.
made
No.
an arrangement,
He's talking about ghostwriting, which means that
Ghostwriter, someone
if
got
you,
paid.
You know
Right.
that they ghostwriters the same way they found out that Drake had ghostwriters. Nigga,
Right.
read the credits.
Yeah, but no,
Drake
no,
is
no.
a ghostwriter that was outed for having ghostwriters, but he learned the game because he was such an ill ghostwriter. He was like, oh, this is the game. This is how it works. This is how you make hit records. This is how Rihanna makes hit records. This is how
Right.
Beyonce makes hit records.
Right.
Well, this is how I'm going to make
I,
it.
You just
I can't be
named-
the only person talented enough to write a hit.
You just
so I can
named
call
two
people
R&B singers in a row. We've
Well-
never given
well-
R&B
well, Mac,
singers
Mac,
the same
Mac,
credit
Mac,
or to hold them to
Mac,
the same standards
Mac,
we do MCs.
Mac, I'm a musician. I'm a musician, and I'm here to make jams. Let's be clear. I'm known to be an ill lyricist. I'm not known for hooks. I'm not known for pop music. I'm not known for great. But I am here to make jams. That is the number one priority. Everything else is to serve that. Me being a great lyricist helps me make great jams.
I'm gonna kill this right now. How many ghostwriters you got?
None.
That's what I
But-
fucking thought. That's what I fucking thought.
But-
Good evening, bitches.
I don't
That's
need
what
a
I thought.
ghostwriter.
No shit.
But here
No
it is.
shit.
But let me qualify
No
it. But let me add. Let me
No
add.
shit.
Let me add.
No shit.
Let me add.
Hold on, wait,
It is.
wait, time out, wait, wait. This line right here. Yeah. How many ghostwriters you got?
No.
Nigga, I ain't talking about me.
But the exception to the rule prove the rule exists.
No.
I am the exception to the rule that proves the rule
And
exists.
I don't think the exception
And
to the rule should be counted
my biggest
as
hits-
anything other than an exception.
My biggest hits, records that are most like biggest for every, are collaborations. My biggest, that Just Blaze record, it's because of Just Blaze and me together.
Okay.
That Get By is me and Kanye together.
Okay.
And The Blast is me and High Tech together. So I'm not a ghostwriter.
Did they write your rhymes though?
No, but I've taken suggestions.
But
from
did they
people
write
use-
your rhymes?
No, nobody
though?
writes my rhymes.
Is there a reference track out there that
No.
Talib Kweli
No,
is going to be?
never.
All right.
Never.
So miss me with all the other shit.
I would never kick somebody's rhymes, but I have kicked hooks that people
I
have
don't
written
care
for me.
about a hook.
Right.
Plenty of people have kicked the
Absolutely.
hook. There have been scratch hooks in
But
hip hop.
what's the difference?
So wait a
What-
minute, time out.
Because one of them
So
came from.
are we saying that outright in its entirety, Little Kim don't count?
As what?
Big wrote all of it.
When has Little Kim ever
Big
been
wrote
considered?
all of it.
Look at me. Look
And
at
I've
me.
heard the
Look
track
at me.
with Big
No,
Rhyme
bro,
and
you're gonna
she-
ask me the question. Look here. When has Little Kim ever been considered one of the top tier lyricists? When
Female?
have we ever? When have, no.
Female.
Period. When have we ever put her in that category?
When Diddy had the
The
night
answer
between,
is never.
between 12
The
and
answer
we
is
never have. He's
never.
right. We never have.
The answer
Whether
is
she
never.
deserved it
Yeah.
or not is not the question.
We've never put her
it
in that
No, no.
category. Which
If the
for
jam-
me
if the
is when the
jam is
asterisk
king.
comes in. There's an asterisk next to your name when you don't write your own shit. You can have all your accolades, you can have all your fame, you can be considered a great entertainer. I'm not mad at none of that
No,
shit.
listen.
If you're not writing your own shit, you have an asterisk next to your name for me.
So people vote for Michael Jackson?
No,
That's Michael fucking Jackson. He's a singer. He's not an MC.
Our metrics is completely.
That's why I'm not comparing
You're
him to
speaking
MCs.
completely. You're speaking completely with a very, very, very specific metric that me as a top tier lyricist, I am obligated to respect. I'm obligated to respect your metric. I respect that metric,
Right.
but I don't live by that metric. I respect it, but where my metric is the jam.
Here's
That's
The jam. So here's the question.
Hold on.
Wait, no.
Here's the reason you can do this. Here's the reason why you can respect.
Let me handle this
This
one.
will take 2 seconds.
Go ahead.
Here's the reason why. Because you're a top tier lyricist, you have the luxury of
that's
feeling that
absolutely
way.
right, and that's where we overlap at. Because the reason why
You
I
have
do-
the luxury
he's
to
right.
think that way.
Because the
hold
reason
on,
why
hold
I
on.
feel that way is because I'm like, well, you're not better than me in my lane.
So you have
So
the
I have the
luxury to
luxury
do that.
to- appreciate
So now here's the
what it
question.
is you do.
Here's the question.
And, yeah.
Talib, somebody comes to you, they play you a song, you from the rip, it's like, oh, this is a hit. And it's right up Right up your alley.
My alley.
Yeah.
A hit that's up my alley. Okay.
Do you rap it?
If somebody gives me a song?
Do you take it?
No. I'll take it. For me, what I have to do, me creatively, because of what I do, if I'm rapping on the song, then for me personally, they have to be my raps.
I rest my case.
I don't hold every rapper to that standard. You absolutely have the right to do it. And I understand why you do. I personally do not hold every rapper.
From the rip, you hear it, and you're like, this is a hit.
Yeah. I probably would attempt to
He's
going to
rewrite his own rhymes. He's going to write his own rhymes.
I'd probably take as much of that record as I possibly could. Because look, I'm working on an album right now with people. I wish I could say it, but I can't. But you know what I'm saying? I'm working on an album right now where
look at the face.
I can't.
You can say it.
But my partner in this album, we've been writing as a real rap nigga, and we've been. And he said we've been doing all the heavy lifting. We got a beat recently with a hook, and it's dope. And we say it's so refreshing to not have to do all this heavy lifting. We can just
write the hook, just write to the hook.
Right. We've been coming up with all the hooks, all the concepts by ourselves.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I hear you.
Yo, dude, there's a criteria. There's a level here. Like,
I'm
not cool with when it becomes a slippery slope. And all of a sudden, this is okay to do, and all of a sudden, this is okay to do, and we still give it.
Because I've always been cool with it. Rest in peace, Biz Markie. Biz Markie had Big Daddy Kane. You can't tell me those records is not valuable.
We never called him a top tier lyricist either. Biz.
But what is the conversation though? Is the conversation? Are we like? Yes, you are absolutely correct. If the conversation, but what is the conversation?
Is Snoop a top tier lyricist?
It's a conversation about
when we start talking about who the best is. When we start talking about the best ever.
Is Snoop in that category?
Hold on. We start talking about the best, we start talking about the GOATs, and we start weighing up all the metrics. Did all of this fly shit come from you?
Or
did you have a team behind you?
I'm going to answer that question.
Because if you sold the most records
I'm gonna answer that question.
and did your thing.
Subjectively. And looking at the art, because for me, best MC is not just who has the best rhymes.
Right, no, okay.
I love Homeboy Sandman. I love MF Doom, rest in peace. There's certain niggas that for me is like, but they've
Sean
never
Price,
had
rest in peace.
Never had certain
Rest
career
in peace,
success
PH.
where they're in that PH,
Facts.
where they're in that conversation as the best ever. Even though you could actually, if you just talk about strictly skill, you could put a lot of people. So for me, it's not strictly skill. It's skill is how you were able to produce a song, how you able to get a song out that people hear, how you able to perform. It's a lot of things for me. So that's why Nas and Jay-Z check a lot of those boxes for me.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? That's why they work, right?
Sure.
So in this conversation, what we're talking about, what is the metric? If we're just talking about that, then yeah, you're absolutely correct. But Biz Markie, his impact on me, what he did musically, like if someone were to say to me, I consider Biz Markie a top 5 MC, I feel like they could make that argument.
Sure.
Even though he didn't write a lot of those rhymes.
You could try. You could try. I hate
You said you niggas, you know what he just said? Hit him with the free speech. Oh no, you have free speech. Free speech is not illegal. You can't get arrested for saying that. And if I were to punch you in the face for saying that, I'd go to jail. Your free speech is protected.
Right.
I mean, I'm a
Free
huge
speech.
Biz Markie fan. I'm a huge fan of people who are not in the top tier for me. Like, I sing, "This is something for the radio." Biz didn't rap on so much of that song. He was just talking. Shit was a groove.
But I'm not even saying Biz Markie is a top 5 MC for me. I'm just saying I could respect that argument.
Snoop
someone's experience.
And he stole a nigga's song.
This is where the metric starts. My metric.
You stuck on a Snoop.
He was triggered by that. He was triggered by that. Nas killed like Eric B. Rakim, Pete Rock, CL Smooth. Nas was the first nigga with the Super Producer album.
Right.
9 different niggas.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Nas killed that.
Make your point. I'm gonna use the restroom while y'all making your point.
Snoop is the first nigga to use another nigga shit and it was acceptable. Before Snoop, if you used another nigga rhymes in hip hop, That shit.
Are you talking about Lottie Dottie?
Yes, he is.
Talking about
Dude,
Lottie.
Lottie Dottie was
It doesn't
that was a
matter.
shout out. He didn't
Like
even
I said,
claim that song
even
as
doing
his.
it as homage, he put it on an album.
Yeah,
Right.
but he also paid Slick Rick for it.
So the 50 when he did these other nigga shit.
Yeah, but
y'all
did he
niggas now
tell
say
him?
that if you use another nigga shit?
The first thing out of
problematic.
his mouth was like shout out to Slick Rick. Anybody
Right.
else eat a dick? Like he never made it seem like that song was his.
Right.
I'm not
He
saying-
never tried to
listen,
copy it.
A
He-
lot of these people do this now. Right now. It's acceptable.
Then they got it fucked up because they not doing what Snoop did. Snoop came right out and said, "This song is Slick Rick's song.
Right.
I am doing a Slick
Right.
Rick song
And right before
because
that,
I love
and
Slick
right,
Rick so
and
much."
right after that, Ghost said, I don't want a nigga to sound like me and my people on no
Don't
album.
sound like me. But if I guarantee you, if Kendrick was like, or not even Kendrick, what's the dude's name who actually rocked with him on stage? If Kid Cudi came out and did, yo, this is shout out to Ghostface Killer, one of the illest ever, and did what was it? Lotus Flower. Lotus, is that the joint?
Wild-
No.
The one he did on stage.
Wildflower.
Wildflower. Wow, thank
Right.
you. And he did, because he did Wildflower on stage with him. And he did it word for word. If Kid Cudi comes out with his album and goes, yo, shout out to my favorite MC of all time, Ghostface fucking Killer. If y'all ain't heard it before, you gonna hear it now.
And then do it.
Jumps into
and
that
then
joint.
And then does a version of Wildflower.
Lyric for lyric,
Lyric
though.
for lyric. Ghost is gonna spaz on that nigga.
I don't
Lyric
think,
for lyric.
If he
Like-
goes lyric, right? If he does this song, lyric even with on your
Slick Rick
album.
didn't spaz. Slick Rick didn't spaz when he heard it. He ain't spaz.
Like I said, I'm not saying that I hate Snoop for that. I'm saying that's when the door and the floodgates open.
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I don't agree with that.
That's
disagree.
when-
I don't
let
agree
me tell
with
you,
that.
after that, and I love Hov. When Big died, 3/4 of that nigga album was big quotes. Did y'all niggas have a problem with it?
However, who knows if those, his publishing was getting the credit for that, and that
I believe it
money
was going to his
feeding
kids.
his kids.
To feed Big's kids?
Yes.
I'm not a biter.
Biggie
I'm a
Smalls.
writer for
Biggie
myself
Smalls.
and others. When
No,
I kick a
I'm
line,
just
I'm
saying
only
that y'all
bigging
niggas
up
think
my
that this
brother,
nigga did
bigging
it.
up my borough.
So he could pay for Biggie
Yeah, but
Smalls.
can Kanye?
No.
Listen, can
No,
Kanye
come
be
on.
considered
No, I don't think that.
in a GOAT conversation greatest of all time?
Musically? Yeah.
Which
See, here's the
under what?
difficulty.
MC,
Hold
as
on.
for your
This is the
metric.
difficulty.
MC?
Yeah.
There's gonna be an asterisk next to it.
This is no. Hold on.
Who, Kanye?
This is
Yeah.
the difficulty. Hold
What
on.
about Drake?
Hold on.
Same for Drake.
Hold
Same
on.
asterisk.
Okay. I just wanted to see if you was consistent and you
This
was.
is-
No, same.
For me, I would consider both of them in
I'm
that
cool.
conversation.
I'm cool with consequence.
But they both
there's
can rap.
asterisk.
They both can rap. We know.
Sure.
this.
Right,
We know.
Right.
We know
Sure.
this. But this is an element within the industry that
So I asked
some people say,
because,
okay,
only because they chose.
what do I want?
No. We know what he is? He's a purist, and I respect him for it.
As long as you don't disrespect it, I'm cool.
That's
with
a
it.
purist argument,
He's
absolutely.
That's
Yeah.
a purist argument.
That's a
and
purist
I'm
argument.
having the same purist argument.
And I'm not a purist.
I can dig it.
Contrary to popular belief, people
But you
think
are.
I am.
But you
No,
are.
my fans are purists. My fans are purists. My fans are, a lot of
you
my
are.
fans are purists, but I'm
you,
not.
You are because
I'm not-
I asked you the question.
I appeal to
It's a
purists.
hit record. Would you rap it? You would do as much as you can to make it your own.
I would.
So
Which
no.
means all your own bars.
I do that because it's
right.
not.
Or your own boss.
It's not because I'm a purist. It's just
Right.
because I understand what I've built.
Right.
And it would be disrespectful to my fans and to what I've built to do that at this stage. Maybe if I did that, ask me 20 years ago, no, my answer would have been the same. But
I was about to say.
yeah. But
You
seriously,
asked me
Right.
20 years ago. If you don't get the fuck out of here, you know damn well you wasn't changing that answer.
Now, speaking of disrespect to fans, right? The baby recently got in trouble for some remarks that he made. And when you listen to the remarks, I don't want to make it seem like, I have nothing against anybody in the lifestyle that they choose to live. There seemed to be some sort of frustration with him and being allowed to say certain things. Do you feel like hip hop is being kind of censored?
sensitive, you say?
Censored
Censored?
by the LGBTQ plus community?
Oh, not at all. I don't feel
Nigga,
like
Congress couldn't censor us, man.
that. I don't feel like that at all. I
Right.
mean, look, I'm a straight person, and as a member of the straight community,
Right.
we are overrepresented. In everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, we've had it good, y'all.
We outside all
We've had it good, y'all. We had a good run. You know what I'm saying?
Carol's gonna be mad at me.
we talked. He snuck this back
Yeah.
in. The last time I was here,
Yeah,
he
yeah.
said, "Yo, but where's the straight day parade?" I said, "Yeah, that's every other parade."
Every fucking
That's
parade.
just all the
Parade,
other
day parade, or that.
Every
Yeah.
parade
Yeah,
that's not the gay
I mean, you know,
parade.
I get it.
and if you go to the straight parade, trust me, it's Nazis there.
If you go to the straight parade,
I mean,
you gay.
Wait, what?
What does that mean?
Trust me, this.
What-
listen,
what does
these are
that
gay
mean?
people in the closet and shit.
See, people think that gay mean like homosexual. If you go to the straight parade, you gay.
That's stupid.
You's a bitch.
I
You's a
got
whole.
none.
This conversation
this one
got very
goes-
toxic.
This
Yeah,
what I'm saying.
it's just
I don't mean it's toxic.
It's just
like
real
I
life.
said.
Yeah.
It's what was the joke that my man said? He's like, yeah, when I say gay, gay is gay. Like if I call you a then it's a problem.
See, now I feel like I'm in chasing.
We're gonna blur that word.
No, you can blur the word
'Cause
out.
it's-
But
it's
no,
like- it's heavy now.
It's a who said that?
It's the heavy
What was that?
F.
What was that joke? I gotta remember this joke. The verbatim. He was like, I say gay all the
Oh,
time.
you talking about Chris Rock stand up?
What he said? What
That
he
was
said?
Chris. I'm not repeating that shit.
No, we can't say it.
No,
Right.
no, I'm
But
bugging.
he was saying that it's not. the context of the word.
Right.
Because he was talking about when Isaiah Washington got fired off of Grey's Anatomy
Yeah, yeah.
because he dropped
Right.
dropped the F bomb.
Right.
And he said there's a difference between being gay
Gay
and being. He was like
Right.
anybody can be.
Yeah. I mean,
Sensitivity to words.
I'm not sensitive to words. I'm from the
You're not.
1900s.
Woo! I've been waiting. Thank you for saying that.
I'm sorry.
Because we had a discussion the other night about black people fighting for the ownership
of the word
of
nigga.
the word nigga.
South.
And in my, in my weird mind,
Is that even
I
a
look
fight?
at it logically and I say, I understand. However, wouldn't this be the motivation of the people who use nigga in a derogatory fashion for us to keep it to ourselves?
Wait, one more time. Run that back.
All right. White boy says nigga in your presence. You check him. You can't use that word. But he's not using the word in a derogatory fashion. He
He's
might
not
be
trying
talking
to.
to his boy.
I'm not trying to, but he
And he's saying, yo, my nigga.
because he heard it in pop culture.
He loves the culture so much that now verbally he's
So I wrote-
identifying.
I wrote it-
Hold on. He's identifying, right? You know who else would be mad at that white kid saying that? The Ku Klux Klan. You're not a nigga.
Well, I wrote an
They're
essay.
niggas.
I wrote an essay.
Don't
about
ever
this.
say that.
I wrote an essay called Pierce Morgan
Right.
was back in the days,
Right.
a few years ago. He was making public statements about why do black people say nigga all the time. I just don't understand it. And I wrote an essay called Nigga Please on Medium. And it's essentially, my mother don't like that I say this word and that I use it in my music.
Right.
But it's essentially me explaining to Pierce Morgan why his opinion on it has
Is
no
irrelevant.
value
Right.
to us.
Right.
And I broke that. I studied the history of it, and but I'm not. Again, like the long and short of it for me is, that's not I understand intellectually why that would rub people the wrong way, and why there's members of our community who say you shouldn't say it.
Right.
I applaud black people who stop saying it. I'm looking forward to where I'm not at this point, and this is where I'm not. I still say
She's like,
it.
I'm not at
But
the point yet,
working
but I'm
towards
getting
it.
there.
I mean,
Yeah.
I saw Joe Button on your show say he don't say it. I saw, Nori.
I think he
Nori say
does.
Nori
I think
say
he
he don't
still
say
does.
it.
I think he
mean,
still
it's-
says
I'm pretty sure they both do. I'm pretty sure. they-
Joe Button, he said it on your show. He said, "I'm trying not to say that no more."
Oh, he's trying. He's working.
That's what he
on
said.
He's working
Yeah,
on it.
but he said that with his legs crossed and some Gucci loafers on. Like it was Joe Button's thing. You know what I mean? Like
That's true.
It was just a Joe
again,
moment.
I applaud growth even for Joe. You know what
right.
I'm saying?
Right. Shout out to Joe.
So I get why people want to move away from it, but my whole thing is in terms of the fights that I prioritize. One, white people, you should have no opinion on it at all. Don't say it. Don't ask me why. Don't worry about it.
Why?
Just don't say it. And why? And this is what I ended
You know
the
what?
essay with. Why you want to say it so bad anyway? That's the last line of the essay.
That's my favorite.
Because-
That's my favorite point.
Yeah.
and
That's what-
why you want to say it so bad? Now think about it. Think about
I'm
it.
sitting here thinking
But
about
I just want to say, just to finish
This
my
word
point.
is embedded in their
But
childhood.
to finish my point.
Right.
To finish my point. Again, like that's not my fight. Black people, young black people will stop calling each other niggas when they stop treating us like niggas. And we have taken the word and we have co-opted it. And the best way I would explain is that what the nigger hard R is the white man put all his fears about black people into this word, into this image.
Right.
You know, and they try to say the nigga's lazy, they try to say all this, but all it is it's the nigger for the white supremacist mind state is the black person you don't want to meet. It's the black person you don't want to come, you don't want to have anything to do with these niggas because they scare you. It's not from a place of dominance, they're not a dominant people. It's from a place of fear.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They are scared. They're so scared that they're like, they don't want to have a fair fight. They want to colonize. They want to have the guns and the ships and the warheads. Their technology, our technology is spiritual. Their technology is how can we kill each other better? And I'm not talking about white men. I'm talking about that devilish mind state that don't even have a color.
Right.
White people are overrepresented in that category, but it's not. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's not no white
Right.
shit. That's just how the world.
belts,
Right.
rings.
Yeah.
Just like Italians are overrepresented in the mobs, it's not because Italians are more violent. That's just how the society, played out.
All right.
Us wanting to be niggas is us wanting to be the scariest possible thing to the white man. Oh, you don't like niggas? Niggas is what you don't want
I'm
to
a nigga.
be around? Then guess what the fuck I am?
I'ma be a nigga for life.
I'm the worst nigga you ever seen. You know what I'm saying? And that's how we. It
But
sounds.
But
where does
doesn't
the
that
word come
perpetuate?
from?
That was I told them
You talking about
yesterday.
whether
Well,
it's
that-
There's
Where
niggas,
does
there's
No,
Niger.
no.
There's-
We had this conversation
Yeah.
yesterday, and nobody knows the origin of the word.
That's not true.
And a
That's not true.
scholar-
That's not true.
No, they said it's niggas, but then yesterday I spoke to a good
It's
friend of
Niger.
mine.
That's not true.
It's Niger, right?
Right.
It's not. It's for the Niger River and all those kind of things.
Right.
It's not niggas meaning king.
right,
Or
Nigeria,
Nigerians,
right, nigger
Nigeria.
area.
But
Right.
they said if you ever want to solve the riddle of racism, you would have to find the first person who used the word and ask them why. And since that's impossible,
I believe that there is some truth to black people being identified as niggas, and there is some truth to
Niger.
Niger.
Right, and also in the Americas where racism was invented, as far as skin color based racism was invented.
Where does the word Negro come from?
Well, that's what I was about to say. The Spanish talk about the Spanish talk about
Negro.
Negro. Now they mispronounce it in the South.
Right.
That's
Right.
also that too.
that's also
Right.
It was
All
like
right.
it was
That's
they say
true.
Negro.
So
That's
you would
correct.
have
Yeah,
to
they say
find a
nigger.
person who
But this is
invented
deep
the
tip.
Southern accent.
This
Well,
is
you gotta
big-
remember that
This is
slavery.
something I might want to hear. All right. You have to go back and you just hit on the thing.
Shout out
So
to
it
Bigger, he
comes
says
from
10 words.
Negro. You have to see where did they get that from? And no one gives us that answer. Why do they call us Negroes?
Definition of
So
black
you
and
have
Spanish?
to go back.
Yeah.
No, it goes beyond that, brother. You have to go back to Yaya Negro, and you have to see who was Yaya Negro. That was actually a person. It was a black man. It was a warrior that was like King David's great-great-grandson. Yaya Negro fought for Spain, and he defeated the Moors. And they gave him land in Spain, which is called the land of the Negroes. That's us. In Africa, you already had the land of the Negroes in Africa.
Right.
So now they remade it in Spain. So now we were identified as, all Yaya people got identified as the Negroes. This is where the
Negros.
This is where the word
Negros.
comes from.
Right.
What's even more powerful about
What you
it,
said?
Down
Negros.
South tongue.
what's even more
Yeah.
powerful about it is that it directly links you back to King David.
Right.
The Negroes have a direct description. They're dark-skinned people with woolly, nappy hair.
Right.
So if it connects you all the way back to King David, who does it really connect you to?
Jesus.
Thank you.
All right.
Yo,
First of all,
shout out to Bigger for
shout out
saying
to Bigger. Let's
every
get that
episode, he has
So to answer Matt's question,
a nice
that he asked me
little
last
segment.
night, yes,
Right.
niggas definitely ours. We keeping that. That's us.
No, okay, no, hold on.
We're not playing no game.
But again, I have to ask, what happens? Should we say, you know what? This word is now free to everyone.
You know what's crazy? I'm gonna tell you what's crazy. that we
What-
sit in here with impunity and say nigga 100 times, right?
Right.
I said the word 5 minutes ago, and y'all niggas talking about we gonna blurb all that out.
You want to know why, right? You know,
Because the gay, I'm gonna tell you why. The gay community has white people in it.
You know what? As far as the conversation we having right now, the nigga community got some white people in it as well.
that is a fact.
You
That is
niggas-
a fact.
No,
listen.
it does not. No, it does not. No, it does not.
Hey,
It most
if you really
certainly
want to
does
go down
not.
that road,
I'm
yes.
just saying.
But I asked, what happens if we're looking to abolish racism?
Never. Well, go ahead.
I don't know if you're familiar with The Incredibles.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that show.
The villain of The Incredibles, his mission was to make
everybody
everyone
super.
and when everybody's super,
Nobody will.
Nobody's super. Right. I
So
told you,
why do we fight for this word?
because ain't no aliens yet. You know the rule. They said it already. They said it 100 times
You
over.
said, why do we fight for the
why do we fight for ownership of the word?
Because
Dave
we
hit on it on the Midnight Miracle podcast.
Right.
He said because when you see it's the African Americans that have said nigga and we use it as a term of endearment. So it's a very African American thing, and other people in the world use it trying to copy African American culture
as a term of endearment.
as a term of endearment.
Right.
Right. He said that when you say that word to a fellow African American, that you can only say it to that type of person. You know that they had the same experience and perspective as you, and it's a way of saying me too, nigga. Me too.
I see you.
I see you. I. It's a way to say I relate to you. I understand what you say. We speak the same language without actually saying that. Like you, my nigga.
Right.
Like they can't say it because they don't have our experiences. But it's a way to be like he said. It's our me too.
My favorite
So
question.
so can Arabs say it?
It depends on their experience. There are Arabs who are black who identify.
if they put sand in front of it, true.
Just shut up.
Jesus Christ.
There are Arab people
Yo,
who
Seth,
are,
what you trying to do, man?
It's
You
hilarious,
trying to
man.
get me demonetized
No,
out
it's
here.
not
Yeah.
demonetized. What it is that
who identify as members of the black community.
They do.
Right.
And could trace their lineage to be like we are black and who were raised and had an African American experience based on where they were raised at. Same thing with the Latinos in the West Coast versus Latinos here.
Right.
You know, whereas like you have Latinos in New York. We right down the street from Spanish Harlem. We have Latinos from New York who say nigga all the time because their experiences they are packed in communities with African Americans. They have this uniquely Latino African American experience, whereas you have Mexicans and people in LA who don't have that, and be like, nah, like you can't say nigga. Like a Puerto Rican nigga could say nigga. You know what I'm
because
saying?
the Puerto Rican niggas is niggas. That's what I'm trying to say to y'all.
My only question
The
has never
Mexican
been.
nigga is a nigga too.
I ask the same question every time. Why is this the word that you're fighting for the right to say? Whenever I
And
come
this is
across
what I'm
Caucasian people and they start getting
That's the right
Why-
question.
How come,
And
how come
the
y'all can
answer's
say
very
it? No,
easy.
they always get at me the same. How come y'all can say it but we can't?
Because
I'm
y'all,
confident.
hold on,
It is
imagine
actually
it's coming.
confident.
Imagine, imagine being species on Earth
I
that
don't
takes
even answer the
everything.
question. I don't even answer the question. I fire right back. Why is this the one you're fighting for the right to say? Out of all the derogatory, fucked up
And
terms there
I'm
are
gonna
for
tell you
other
why.
races,
I'm
you
gonna-
don't fight. I don't see Jewish people fighting.
I'm gonna tell you why.
Why is that the one you
I'm gonna tell you
want?
why. Not only do they love the music, but they don't have a term of endearment at all.
They don't, and this is
They
how
don't.
you get them. This is how you get
They
them.
want one.
No, they'll
Stick
tell
the
you
one-
share.
Listen,
Stick the
They
pound.
wanna
Stick
share.
the
They'll tell
pound.
You know,
Hey,
I'm
Al,
not-
what's going on,
Listen,
buddy?
I'm not
Hey,
at you.
guys.
For asking them any questions
Listen,
y'all know.
these white boys get so mad at me when I call them a white boy.
White boy.
Online. And they'll be like, that is a racial slur.
Yup.
I'm like, a racial slur? Because nigger is a racial
you
slur.
slur.
So if you're a white boy and you get mad at me saying white boy, well, you telling on yourself. Because what you're telling me is that you ain't got no black friends. Because if you had black friends, then you know that
They
white
call you
boy
a
is
white
a
boy.
term of endearment
Right.
in our community. We don't call you white boy unless you've been around some black people.
If you call me black boys,
That's different.
That's
bro.
a whole different fight.
depends on how
White
it
boy
comes
Rick.
out. Otherwise, it's really just a description.
If you ever call me boy,
I'm a
ever,
black man.
Shout out to Eminem. He's
There are
about to
people
play
in
White
the-
Boy
there
Rick
was-
in the BMF
there was,
series.
In the civil
right.
rights
Yeah.
movement, black men wore signs that said, I am a man, because they was calling us boys.
Boys.
Right,
Right,
I am
right,
not, I'm
right.
nobody's
There's a history
boy.
to that.
Right.
There is no history of
True
white boy.
facts. True facts.
Nobody's boy.
True shit.
Get that shit straight.
Now, my whole thing
So,
is-
so again, I'm going to pose this question because I'm not getting an answer for it.
I gave you the answer for it. It's
You said, why do we fight for it?
No, why, if we were to allow this word to be freely used amongst other races, does this have an effect on the nigger that we're trying to get off of us?
No. What it does is it makes us much more.
When nobody's super, when everybody's super, nobody's super.
Because
does it happen?
As black people, one, we skeptical on anybody that's not black people. Technically, we skeptical on black people too.
Right.
If a white dude here that I know really well, and we allow him to say nigga, he from the hood, and he bring his man around, his man say nigga, do I know that they're using it in the same context? So no, they don't. Even one of them really get to use it like that at all.
But you don't know that now.
What I gotta, it's like the police.
But let's say
with the
this
police,
word was
right?
set free.
If you, as a black man,
right?
I call the police. Are you worried about them coming to get you, or are you worried about making it out of here?
I think the problem is that to be able to do that, we have to ignore the social construct of what race is and the effects it has on us. We'd have to just ignore it.
Oh,
and I don't think we can do that at this
stage. Like I said,
when you say we have to ignore it,
we'd have to pretend that word doesn't have the history it has.
Right.
We'd have to just
pretend.
But that is what so many other people want to do when they want to use it.
Who are these
9/11's never forget. Slavery is
they
get over it.
They want to let it go.
They want to let it go.
What's that phrase we used at the last show? What was the African proverb? The axe forgets, the tree remembers.
The tree remembers, correct. That's real.
Of course you want to let it go. It benefits you to do that.
Right.
You get to release yourself of all the responsibility, all of everything that comes with what you've gained from those sources.
That word,
but in a way, we benefit from it also. Because it's no longer a trigger for black men to get in trouble.
I don't even think that's
black men would never triggered by it.
I don't even think that's our fight.
Yes, we are.
No, we weren't.
Yes, we are.
No, we weren't.
Yes, we are.
I don't think that's our
black men. No. Black people aren't triggered by it.
I don't think it's our fight. I don't think this is a priority fight for me personally. I think that gay people should be allowed to call each other as much as they want to call each other.
And they do.
And I think women should be allowed to call each other bitches and hoes as much as they want to, even though those terms are gendered. And I don't want to be in the fight. I think black people, if you the type of black person that likes to say nigga, if you that type of person, fine. I understand where that comes from. I'm not gonna get mad at you. I'm not gonna say that because you say that, that's a reason another white person could say it. But I think to your point, that's why I'm saying I don't think that's a real fight. To me, it's like I'll check a white person on saying it, but I'm not gonna have no rallies about the shit. Like I'm not gonna I'm not trying to stop people at concerts. Like, hey, stop saying. Like I'm not.
Hove.
Right.
Hove at his concert. I went to the right. Hove said,
I'm gonna give
you niggas permission. And then he said,
I got
nigga what? Nigga who? White people all around me. Nigga what? Nigga who?
Yeah.
Right? Do I get mad? No.
Do you get mad at that?
I let him sing.
Because I was at a concert and you did that.
Right?
Do you get mad?
I'm not, listen, it's that man's show, it's that man's song. Where he chooses to have a bunch of people shout out at his show is his business. Me personally.
Is it his business?
Let me finish. Me personally, your relationship with that song and that artist is between you and him, and he's giving you the out to the head and rock.
And if you sitting next to
I'm coming. A white person rolls up and he's talking with his black friend and they going back and forth and nigga together, blah, blah, blah. Okay, that's your relationship with that black man. That black man is chose to open up the door and let you do that with him. That's very personal. I call my girlfriend baby. Somebody else walk up and call her baby.
That's right.
We outside of the relationship now. This is me and her thing.
Right.
You can't say what I can say to her.
That's right.
I have sisters. Me and my sister start beefing.
I
call my sister a bitch when we having a fight. I've never done it, but I call my sister a bitch when I'm having a fight. We inside the house, and I call her a bitch, and I say it loud enough that people outside the house hear what happened. Right. We come outside, somebody call my sister a bitch. I'm gonna knock his complete fucking face off. Right. You know why? Because some things amongst family are cool. It ain't cool outside of family.
And bring it back to the hip hop discussion. Hove has a different type of audience than I have, and I'm fine with that. My audience don't say it
at all.
The white people go to my shows, they not saying it. They gonna drop that word out when it's time to say it.
And it don't stop them from enjoying the song.
That shit is a hook.
What if you gave him permission?
They not gonna say it.
Nah, he's not giving
And
I'll
it's
listen
not
to
the
people
hook.
when I perform
And it's
it.
not the
Right,
hook.
because I'm
They
gonna
don't
Just
say
to
it.
get by.
You said
nigga.
all of those things, right?
It's not
But I'm
that.
gonna tell you how I was at the Hove concert. Stand up 1 second.
Nah, I'm not standing.
No,
Nigga,
no,
nigga
no,
right
no.
here like this. Nigga, what? Nigga, who?
Right.
He leaning on me.
Right. It is what it is.
Right,
All right.
you're right. I want to
Nah,
see.
like no,
All right, look,
me and him gonna make eye contact.
Just
I'm
keep
not
that
comfortable.
nigga gonna make eye
I'm not comfortable at all.
Listen,
Yo, my
listen.
man, you alright?
You right?
Food for thought.
Fuck is
Just
your problem?
Drop a comment on how you feel about this situation, because I'm
Fuck
very
good with
interested
you.
in that.
Playboy.
Now,
He's
I gotta ask:
great.
is it possible that we will get another Black Star album?
We have made another Black Star album.
What
and we're
the
very
fuck?
close to. It's produced by Madlib, and we're very close to having a situation.
What the
People
fuck?
could hear it.
You heard it here first.
Hold on.
You heard it here first.
Technically, I heard it.
You heard it.
That's some bullshit. You ain't
I
have to,
heard-
that
Nah,
was
nah, nah,
unnecessary.
nah.
That was
No,
unnecessary.
real
That was
talk, real talk.
Humble
No,
brag,
listen.
yo. I
There's
heard
nothing humble
Come
about
on,
that,
fire,
Brad.
nigga.
That was unnecessary.
fire.
I'm going to the crib. I'm gonna hit the records. I'm gonna hit the records.
Fire.
Qua, next
His
week.
face come because I know his face.
I'm not yet. Dude, you
Yeah,
can't, you can't do
I
that.
heard it.
You can't do
Fire.
that.
Word up.
I'm booked the whole weekend, and on Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday. Like, come on, bro. You gotta. Like, don't do that. Don't do that.
Man.
Don't do
All right.
that.
All right,
I'm
white
pulling out.
people, don't say nigga.
We back to that.
We back to that.
All right. In closing, Mr. Mac, anything you wanna?
Sure. Looking forward to this album called Ambition by a group called The Combine. I didn't shout them out last time. They got an album coming. Mechanism Monday. Every Monday I hand out a free piece of advice to all artists struggling, up and coming, whatever. Go on my
Like that.
Instagram and I put it on YouTube. And shout out to the Eminem show over there on Fubu Radio, which I've interviewed both of you for.
Yes.
Nice.
So
Great.
Yeah,
Wonderful.
that's it.
Sean Bigger.
Keep it safe.
No doubt.
This is my 4th time on the show. I just want y'all to know that because I don't believe that every artist is the devil and sacred fan, you know, last time I was here. Last time I was here, we did a thing and they was talking about how all
callback.
artists.
yeah.
Yeah, I was supposed to
Right,
get
I
to
have a
that.
problem with that.
I was supposed to ask you,
No,
have you
I
seen
like
that?
it.
I
So
know.
we did- I didn't
They
come back to this
They
show.
was very heavy on me
Yeah,
with this
I,
one right here.
that we were
Yeah,
supposed
I
to
don't-
get to
Pull
that.
up, I'm coming back.
Because I believe
I'll
that
pull up
all
for this. I
black
wanna be here for
people,
this.
on their merits and sacrifices and their talents make it as far as they make it.
Right.
I don't believe that all of these niggas done sold they soul.
I don't believe
to
that
make it.
either.
So all you
However-
niggas,
Are y'all talking
y'all
about the
be-
Illuminati?
Yeah, there's a lot. So, stay out my DMs with that shit. That's
Yeah,
all.
that's it. That's all I wanted to say.
But
That's all I
I'm
wanted to
interested
say.
Leave me the
in-
fuck alone.
And anybody who's had that type of experience, that's why I wanted to ask you. But Dro Drink, shout out to Chaz.
That's my
Again, where do we get this?
At Chaz Green Dreams on
Chaz Green Dreams.
CHAS.
CHASGreems.
There you
There
go.
we go.
There
Lot
you
of
go.
letters.
Go support that. Go support. She black owned. She kind of light, but she's black. You're
Trust me.
Oh man, another Black Star album. And what else? What else we got going on?
A bunch
The
of
People's Party.
All that.
Midnight Miracle.
All that.
All that. Javodi Media
All
in the
that.
building.
All that. Y'all know what to do. Y'all know who he is. Legendary.
Word up.
You know, it is what it is. All right.
Oh shit! Shout out to Viper Records. That's it.
Oh,
Shout out to Viper
you know,
Records.
I actually was gonna invite that guy today, but yo, we out, man.
We out.
Salute.
On it.
It's Hoffa, trapper turn smack rapper. Only smack rapper that you know is smack rappers. Got bars, I can hang with the backpackers. Trap star, I don't hang with the backpackers. I'm in the hood with the work you heard. Making fiends leave earth you heard. Got your baby mama thirst you heard. Feel the flow, nigga, throw it in reverse. This the wave you need to surf you heard.